Shabbat Shalom to those that's having a Shabbat right now. Shabbat will be here on the West Coast in about probably 30 minutes to an hour. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High, power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for everything. He's worthy to be praised for everything. Um, I have a feedback. For some reason, I have a feed. Yes, just a moment. So, a moment. Okay. Conference call. Tonight, I want to look into something pertaining to order and something for the young brothers coming into truth. There's a lot of camps that's being started. That's happening, and the ones that really grow and succeed are the ones that have order. Hope I can be heard okay. I just want to give guidelines and certain instructions pertaining to being a soldier, then a young officer, then an officer. So I'm going to general Ta'awan mode right now. And I'm going to deal with, because I'm from One West. I was a high-ranking general at One West, and all praise to the Most High that I'm still enduring. But this is going to be mainly for the men that are, rolling in the truth and have their camps going. It's a guideline straight from One West, because that's where I'm from, and that's where a lot of us from. A lot of people hate the fact that we bringing out the truth until this day, but we got to deal with it. So I'm going to give you some guidelines. Number one, these guidelines for camp operations. All generals, officers, and soldiers must be given responsibilities and uphold them. Number two, junior officers and soldiers are allotted trials and errors as expected to increase their learning. Number three, they must know and follow protocols of the officers and soldiers that are above them. Number four, officers must learn the art of listening before ridicule. Number five, all officers are required to counsel their men with the right solutions using the contents of the word of the Most High, according to the Bible. Number six, this includes understanding of giving points. Then when we look at ICUPK, Nation Point book information. Number six, mind you, this is from the original ICUPK, One West, when the elders were in charge, Arya, Shah, Kazak, and Yeshaya, and the other ones that left. It says, number six, this includes the understanding of giving points, right? Number seven, unit integrity of the camps and the department must increase. Job 2 and 3. Job 2 and 3. And the Most High said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there was none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity through all that he went through. Although thou movest me, that's the Most High, the me is the Most High, against him to destroy him without cause at the time, right? Webster's New Collegian Dictionary and New World, third edition, 1988. Hear that? 1988. Integrity, one, quality or state of being complete, unbroken condition, wholeness, entirety, quality or state of being unimpaired, perfect condition, soundness. And three, quality or state of being of sound moral principle, uprightness, honesty, and sincerity. Defined by headquarters, this is from the United States Marine Corps. Traits of a Marine NCO, integrity, the stakes of combat are too high to gamble leadership on a dishonest man. Would you accept a report from a patrol leader who had been known to lie? Of course you wouldn't. All your statements, official or unofficial, are considered by your men to be plain, unadorned facts. Make sure they are. When you give your word, keep it. There are people depending on you to come through with the goods. Defined by ICUPK corporate. Unit integrity of the ICUPK church is the first 5 leading men of the camps and departments are responsible for the completing the mission as directed by the elders and high priests of the ICUPK. Number 1, righteousness. 2, trust. 3, order. 4, communication, etc. Go to how to give orders. So you're going to be taught how to give orders. Everybody can't take orders. It's very important that you know how to take orders, because you can't take orders. I don't know how you're going to make it during the times that we're looking at Jacob's trouble. It's going to be very important how to operate with orders. Main order equal Daniel 7:18. To take the kingdom first, take the top city, the capital city of the world, New York City. That's supposed to be, 2 objectives, biblical, raise up church membership, increase support for the priesthood of the Most High, seed planting and watering, public affairs, speaking engagements, radio and TV shows, internet, literature teams, seminars, home meetings. All these things are what we did and should be doing. Yahweh, raise up funds and pay all sanctuary in advance, 6, 12, 18 months in advance. If it's 26, 2 to 4. He's 14 in advance to free up, the work of the men 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which we work 7 days a week, at all distribution. A lot of camps still have this from old. They're still operating just like this. All distribution, internet ads, newspaper ads, distributing packages, $2.50, $5, $500, $1,000, etc. How to operate with each other and giving an order. Commandment equal an order, equal directive, equal respectful requests, equal missions. Before issuing an order, inquire on present directives or missions. Once ordered, the individual receiving the order may ask any details pertaining to the order. Once the order is received, it then becomes a mission. Start, process, completion. Brother who received the order must return with a report on the mission. Order given, order giver asks any questions about details pertaining to the order. Brother is then on standby for another order or returns to daily routine. Different types of orders: routine, standard order, urgency order, priority over general standard order. If it's emergency, emergency order, top priority. See, so like I said, I'm gonna go into being a soldier tonight. Just want to bring something, as being a general from the original ICUPK, Israelite Church of Universal Practical Knowledge, when we all were one camp. And understand, Shield of Wisdom was a camp when we all was one camp. Wasn't no camps that you see out there right now. We were all one camp. So, as always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. So all that I say or do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior, Mashiach Yahushua. Give thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. So, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at, you know, General Taiwan tonight. That's who I am to some. Still, like I say, I have many things I can present as far as One West that I have from the elders that taught everyone. They still my friends. Still know them like that. So as always, Colossians 3:17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. Give me thanks to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for everything. You worthy to be thanked. We do everything by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. We say everything by Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. We give thanks to the Most High Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, who was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. It's very important. So these are the things that, those of old, it'd probably be they could remember, maybe some of you might not. But if not, then, take heed. I'm going to go through Soldier as a Prisoner of the Father. I'm going to go through what we all had to say in memorization to be able to understand it. I'm going to the scriptures. They say a soldier must first realize that he is a soldier for the Most High. A soldier must realize that he is in the army of the Most High. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. A soldier must realize that what type of armor he is in, spiritual. A soldier must learn discipline. A soldier must learn order. A soldier must learn punctuality. A soldier must learn duties. A soldier must learn responsibilities. A soldier must learn love for the Father. A soldier must learn love for Mashiach Yahushua. A soldier must learn love for his nation. A soldier must learn love for unity of the brotherhood. A soldier must learn sacrifice. A soldier must learn what is expected of him from his officers. A soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. A soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader. A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be cut up. And the last one, a soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following in the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. All praises to the Most High. Many are called, but few are chosen. So we're going to go into it. Very important. Hopefully, this will be edifying for the new camps, brothers, that, we had to learn every last one of those lines. Every last one of them by heart. It's not hard. Y'all learn precepts. That's what we got to do. Learn them by heart. It's very important, because they all have a significance of how we're supposed to conduct ourselves being an Israelite. Now, a soldier must first realize that he is a soldier for the Most High. We're going to go to 2 Timothy 2. 2 Timothy 2 and 3. 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of a Mashiach Yahushua. You see? And that hardness could be whatever it is that come in your way or come to you. It says, no man work entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. A lot of you can't really look at the affairs of this life, because a lot of you want to be in the truth, and you still want to deal with everything that's in the world. Things that's going on in the world. They say we can't be concerned about the affairs of this life. We in the world, but we don't supposed to be of the world. That's why I said, and if a man also strive for I'll say the best he could be, because I don't like using that word master, because that goes back to BAAL. Yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. You got to follow the laws of the Most High. Moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. And that's what we have to do. In other words, if not, then we're going to find ourselves in a place of unlawfulness, unrighteousness. Look at verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men. Not to any man, but to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. So that's very important. And I know, it won't be something that people gravitate to, because people don't like to take orders. They don't like nobody else to tell them what to do. But that's the only way you're going to be a real man and really deal with your calling to a Mashiach Yahushua. Nobody you can go to that's teaching this day and time didn't have to take orders from some man or learn from some man. This is just the way it is. That's why he said, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, not to unfaithful men, but to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. That's why look at look at this. It's very important. Like Ezra was given 204 books. Majority of us only have 80. We as Israelites. You that's in Christian insanity, any religion, you only have 66. But look, he said the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also, right? So this is marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Look at what he's saying. 2 Ezra 8:48. And this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, and that thou hast humbled thyself, Ezra humbled himself, as it becometh thee, and have not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. So it ain't about thinking you all that because you know a few precepts, this, that, the third, whatever. You got to be humble before the Most High. You say, for many great miseries. That's why. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. That's really serious. People have walked in great pride. That's why it tells you a soldier must first realize that he is a soldier for the Most High. The people walking in great pride, they ain't even praising the Most High. They done pretty much cancel them out to a certain extent. Better understand and say, look, A many great miseries shall be done to them that are in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. Say, and listen what he told him. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Say, seek out those. The same thing that he's saying here, and while I'm here is because he's saying, the same commit thou to faithful men. That's what I said. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, many people heard about the things that he was dropping. Say, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also, right? So the Most High is telling him, excuse me, do what Mashiach was saying to the angel Uriel, to Ezra, in 2nd Ezra 8 and 50, say, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. This is the time we're living in now. People walking in great pride. He said, but understand thou for thyself. Say, understand this for yourself, Ezra, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So how was Ezra? Verse 49, and that thou hast humbled thyself. This marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. So he's not prideful. He humbled himself as he becometh thee, and has not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. Because all you prideful people, you say, hey, but many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. We're in the last days right here, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself. Understand this, Ezra, for yourself. He said, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Now he told Ezra, in 2nd Ezra 14 and 9, 2nd Ezra 14, 9, he told him this. He said, but thou shalt be taken away from all. I mean, he's going to transition, you're going to, die. And from henceforth, from here on, thou shalt remain with my son. You're going to be with Mashiach Yahushua. Listen, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended. So it's very important. Like I said, I'll read the Bible for solutions. So he told him to seek out those that's like him, that's not prideful, don't think they are that. It's very important. But look at Mashiach Yahushua. And y'all want to say y'all so-called Mashiach Yum, or you're supposed to be like him. Y'all say the word Christian mean what you don't. They don't made up a word that mean Christ-like. No, if you like him, this is how he was. Get some pride out of this. In Philippians, the 2nd chapter, verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach Yahushua. Okay? Verse 7. But made himself of no reputation. See that? He wasn't trying to be somebody in the Roman Empire. And took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, that's what Mashiach Yahushua, humbled himself. You don't get no pride out of that. Being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross, the affliction that he had to go through for we, the children of Israel. Okay? A soldier must first realize that he is a soldier for the Most High. Number 2, a soldier must realize that he is in the army of the Most High. Now we can go to spiritually. Ezekiel 37. Like I say, share it with your leaders. Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37. These are dry bones. Verse 10, right to the point. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. You see? An exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, Son of man, Ezekiel, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus say the Most High Power, Behold, O my people, O 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. All praises to the Most High. And it's a physical death and a spiritual death, because we have to be woke up for real. We sleep. So now, Psalm 94 and 16. Psalm 94 and 16. Psalm 94, 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? That's what we're supposed to be dealing with. You know, who's going to do it? He said, who will rise up for me? That me is the Most High. Against the evildoers. Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So a lot of you see, seeing men that stand up like they standing up for our people, but it say, then shall the righteous man stand up. Who is a righteous man? Let's find out. Psalms 119, 172. Who's the righteous man? Psalm 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. So a man that's keeping the commandments of the Most High, he's going to stand up. This is who it is. This is a righteous man, the man that's keeping the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, to have the Most High operating with him and the holy angels working with him. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Most I want to know who's going to rise up from him against the evildoers, who's going to stand up for him against the workers of iniquity. This is going to do it. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be filled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Now, verse 7 says, we reared ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, we have not known it. And known is past tense to the future. That's the future that we're looking at here when salvation is coming to the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's what they're going to say. The elite who have wearied themselves in the way of wickedness and destruction and gone through desert where there lay no way. And that's for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, they're going to say, hey, we have not known it. No matter how much you teach them, how much they look at it, what it is that we bring up for. Okay? A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. 1 Corinthians 6. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. First Corinthians 6 and 19. What? 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 No, ye not. Your body is a temple of the Most High, the temple of the Holy Spirit. Salakia. Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own. You hear that? A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. What? Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? It says, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are the Most High's, you see, and which are Mashiach Yahushai's. Because when you understand 1 Corinthians 2:16, for who have known the mind of the Most High? 1 Corinthians 2:16, for who have known the mind of the Most High, that he may instruct him. But we have the mind of a Mashiach Yahushai, you see. We have the mind of a Mashiach Yahushai. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. Luke 14. Luke 14. Luke 14. 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yeah, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. That's if they are contrary to allowing you in knowing what you know and trying to make it to the kingdom. You got a whole lot of people that can come in your life or come around you. Like he said, you don't hate your father, your mother, your wife, your children, and brethren and sisters. Yeah, and in his own life, even your own life. Also, he cannot be my disciple, he's saying. Disciple is learning from what the Mashiach Shai is going to bring. We all going to be disciples in the 1,000 years of the Mashiach Shai reign. That's what he said. And whosoever does not, that's if they are, coming at you to have you not make it to the kingdom with them. Like they dealing with Christian insanity. Any of these organizations or these religions that's dealing with not the most high power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Who the most I say the power of Israel. They dealing with some religion that you cannot find it in the Bible. When the Most High gave us laws, statutes, commandments to go by. And the Mashiach said in Mark 11:22, have faith in the Most High. You see, so they can't have faith in something that they don't believe in or they don't know anything about. We got a zeal of the Most High, I tell you in Romans 10:2, but not according to knowledge. You see, so this is those that are coming against what it is that you're trying to do. They want you to go, like I say, you can go to hell any way you want to, just don't try to take me with you. And that's what it's talking about. He's talking about those that are contrary, because you got 2/3 of our people, I don't care who they are, what family member, what association, whatever friend, whatever, that's not dealing with this truth. They have not been called. Many are called, few are chosen. They have not been called, And a lot of you flip out because of the fact of you knowing what you know, and they reject whatever you know. That's what he's talking about, because it's worse for you if you go where they at, and he done called you to start learning what this Bible is really talking about him first, Most High, or Mashiach Yahushai, and we as 12 tribes of Israel that this Bible is talking to. Hey, he said you can't be his disciple. If your own self, you don't, like he told us, look, understand this, everybody got to do this regardless of how you look at it. A lot of y'all just still in your own world. You got to find some way to fulfill this, I know. He said in Romans 12:1, he said, I beseech you therefore, brethren. Romans 12:1, by the mercies, plural, of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, right? Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. You see? So we know that if we got to present our bodies as a living sacrifice, first thing it says is holy. We know that Romans 7:12 defines holy. Wherefore the law is holy, that the Most High wrote with his finger, and the commandment holy, and just and good. You see? So we have to present our bodies as a living sacrifice. You know, we sacrifice our bodies for whatever we got to deal with, for monies and things that we like to do, but we have to sacrifice our bodies for what it is that we have to deal with in the truth. You got to find your brick somewhere. You know, if you don't know, you got to inquire. What can I do that can help, you know, this truth, being this truth or doing something? And you can never say you've done enough. I'll never say I've done enough. That's right. And be not conformed to this world, verse 2. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, the way you think. If you always go into the past, you ain't been renewed. I can't go into the past and say this, that, or that, whatever, because I wasn't righteous. I didn't know the law, statutes, commandments. You knew the law, statutes, commandments. You were following the law, statutes, commandments in your past. If not, then hey, that's why he's saying, and be not conformed to this world. If you still conform to this world, just what you only teach you relate is the world, the wicked world that we come from. You can't become a Mashiach disciple. Say, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's what these scriptures are supposed to be doing. Renewing your mind, the way you think, that you may prove what is that good. First and foremost, again, we know that good is the laws and the commandments of the Most High. The law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Prove that what is good, the commandments and the laws of the Most High, and acceptable, first and foremost, the Most High. Salakia Most High. I can't leave him out. What is good? He's good. He's the only one that's good. And acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. You see? And that's to do what he say do. Let me prove that. I don't want to say nothing, y'all. That's why I say Salakia, excuse me, Most High, about Shamash at the other side. I messed up. I should have put him first. I'm putting him first. Let me show you. Matthew 19 and 16. And that's how sincere I am about what it is that I'm bringing out. You know, have no pride to think that I can't ask for forgiveness when I make a mistake. Here it is, Matthew 19, 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, it's talking to a Mashiach of his side, good ruler, good teacher. Like I said, I don't use that word M-A-S-T-E-R because it goes back to B-A-A-L. And they put it in there so you be calling on B-A-A-L. And they call him B-A-A-L. When you say it, that's what you're saying. And it's in any Bible dictionary, but we can look at the Compact Bible Dictionary, B-A-A-L. I had to keep on putting it in your face because we have spiritual ADD and spiritual ADHD. You see what it says? B-A-A-L right there. I hope you can see it. It says B-A-L means, first thing it says is L-O-R-D. And that's all y'all use that, you know, not knowing. If you do know, you got to start changing. B-A-A-L, it means L-O-R-D, H-U-S-B-A-N-D, what women call their man when they marry, and M-A-S-T-E-R. For real. And P-O-S-S-E-S-S-O-R. And the reason why I'm spelling it because most I said, be circumspect and don't let the name of these other gods come out of their mouth. So now going back to Matthew 19 and 16. What's good? Let's find out. Matthew 19, 16. First and foremost. So we know the law is good, commandments good, and just. The law is holy, commandment holy, and just and good, right? I've said that in Romans 7 and 12. So now Matthew 19 and 16, it says, and behold, one came and said unto him, said to him, Mashiach, good, I'll say teacher. What good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? Because you'll have people that say, hey, they can say it. And they'll teach you can say it. There'll come a reason why I too say it. But from what I've seen, in the spirit of the Most High, loving the Most High, loving the Mashiach, I'm not going to say it. You can say it if you want to. Hey, the law said, be circumspect, be cautious, be careful. You know, who have known the mind of the Most High, instruct him. He give us instructions. He said, be circumspect, be cautious, be careful. Let not the name of other gods come out of thy mouth. So they know this. They the ones wrote it. We ain't write this. Who wrote this Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary? We ain't write it. The New English Bible Dictionary, any dictionary, Strong's Dictionary, whatever dictionary you go to, it's going to tell you that's what it means. It's just you want to keep something from us, you put it in the book. And we book smart with the Bible, but we better look at what it is that they have done. Having our Bible was in captivity, slavery, and bondage. Couldn't read. Come on. Anyway, I digress. To say Matthew 19:16, what's good? And behold, one came and said unto him, good teacher, what good things shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High. Then you know that he is not the Most High. He said, hey, don't call me good. If he the Most High, how come he can't be good? If he the Most High, well, how come he can't be good? He said, ain't nobody good but one. That is the Most High. But if thou will enter into life, that's eternal life, keep the commandments. Can't get no clearer than that. And they say, and the commandments are the laws, so that let you know there's no good but the Most High. The Most High first and foremost, and then the law and the commandments is good. Okay? Keep that in mind. Going back to Luke 14. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. Luke 14. And 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yes, in his own life also, if you just got to be a part of what it is that he just said we're not supposed to be a part of in Romans. These are the changes that have to be done, or waiting for the fire. The fire is hot as ever, waiting for you. You want to be part of this. That's why he said in Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. You see? And we know what's good. The Most High and his laws and commandments are good. And he wants us to keep his laws, such commandments, his rules and regulations. Okay? So verse 27 of Luke the 14th chapter. And whosoever does not bear his cross, you won't bear this affliction that come with being in this truth, and come after me, cannot be my disciple. That cross is affliction. You're gonna go through something. So you're gonna be, that's why I say you come in this, it's not, you're gonna have to be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. It can come anyway. Through you, through your children, through your man, through your woman, to someone, to your friends, to someone you don't know, or just from the Most High dealing with you through the invisible spirits of the angels. Also, that's why he said in Ecclesiastes 2:1, my son, in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 2:1, my son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation. That temptation represents you have to deal with the left-hand side. Satan, the devil, all of that. It comes when he said, hey. In verse 4, verse 2, it says, set thy heart right, set your mind right, and constantly endure. And Shabbat said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. And we're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble, but a lot of people going to run. They're going to run just to whatever it is they say, you need to do this. And they're going to be doing exactly what they tell you to do. And you know that they're not in the truth now. Where are they at now? Remember this, for those that's going to run back to those that's of the world. They're not in the truth right now, so you're going to run to them, and they part of the 2/3. And they're going to get you first. They're going to get you first because he called you, and then you going to run. That's why I say don't make haste. Don't run in a time of trouble. It's going to be Jacob's trouble. There's going to be a time that you're going to have to take orders and really look at how you got to operate during the time of Jacob's trouble to be able to be saved from your enemies and saved from the hand of all that hate you. It says, cleave unto him. You hear that? Cleave unto the Most High. Cleave unto Mashiach Yahushua, about Shem Mashiach Yahushua, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. But those that part away, they're going to be decreased at their last end. You're going to start with them. He said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. That's Jacob's trouble, y'all. You got to take it cheerfully, because you know what's promised to us forever and ever and ever. The kingdom forever and ever and ever. Luke 14, verse 27. Whosoever does not bear his cross, you ain't willing to be dipped in the fiery furnace of affliction. It says, and come after me cannot be my disciple. That's why I go on back here. Ecclesiastes 2nd chapter. That cross represents affliction. He said, Ecclesiastes 2:5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You hear that? Furnace of adversity, you're going to go through some things. This ain't no easy task. I mean, and you got to endure. You got to know, you know, you need some uplifting, or wherever you at or wherever you dealing with. Read check it out, the 7th chapter about the woman and her 7 sons that were tortured by the so-called white man, the King Antiochus Epiphanes, man. That should be, when you read that, that should inspire you to know and listen to what each one of them said, knowing that they had to go through what they were going through. And she watched all 7 of her sons be tortured to death. That's inspiring to know, hey, as a man, who am I to be? He said, the woman is a weaker vessel, and you watch what she did. And you a man, you're gonna fall short of that. Get out of here, man. Whole lot of men gonna do it, though. Isaiah 48:10. He said, what? Behold, I have refined thee. Remember, central men gonna be tried as gold is tried. Here it is with silver. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. You hear that? He chose us in the furnace of affliction because we offended the Most High. Hosea 5:15 says, Most High said, I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense, how we offended him, and seek his face, because he turned his face away from us. So in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. Nobody's getting out of this. Nobody. If you ain't going through some affliction, then hey, I don't know. Most I say he love it, he chastens. So we all gonna go through some pain, suffering, some kind of way. This ain't no, you might as well go back to your religion and just shout like whatever y'all be doing, whatever y'all do, singing or whatever y'all do. But y'all ain't paying attention to no word. When you come in, you don't know the word, so you definitely not learning the word there. But you don't have to deal with what it is here. But you're gonna have to deal with what he's saying. It's gonna be worse for you because he called us. And he wants us to endure, regardless, until the end. Remember, a soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. Why I say, behold, I have refined thee, Isaiah 48:10, but not with silver. Say, I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction for my own sake. This ain't for our sake. He said, for my own sake. Even for my own sake will I do it. Why? He said, for how should my name be polluted? You know, his name is in our name, Yah, Shah, Allah. See, how will his name be polluted? He said, I will not give my glory unto another. You hear that? He said, he ain't giving his glory to no one else. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my call. Is this what we talking about? You've been called as a soldier. What did it say? A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. Hearken, listen unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my call. I am he, I am the first, I am the last. Mine hand also have laid the foundation of the earth. His hand is on Mashiach Yahushua. I'll tell you in Ephesians 3:9, Mystery of the Most High, who created all things by Mashiach Yahushua. That's his hand. And my right hand, that's Mashiach Yahushua, because you're on the right hand side of the Most High, have fanned the heavens. When I call it to them, they stand up together in order, without any question of what you talking about. What do you say? What do you say? Nope. They waiting on the call of the Most High. Angels, they're not rebellious. Like we have been. Going back to Luke 14. Remember, a soldier must realize he is obligated to his maker and his nation, and to his nation. All these sayings you should memorize. He said, verse 27, Luke 14:27, and whosoever does not bear his cross, don't bear his affliction, that the Most High say he's going to dip us in, and come after me, cannot be my disciple. Say, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? You have enough money? You want to build this tower? Do you have enough money to finish this tower? Less happily, after you have laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. They're going to start mocking you. Just like if you, because the foundation that we're dealing with right now is a Mashiach Yahushua, and you've been building, and you don't continue to build, people are going to laugh at you then. They're going to laugh at you. They're going to mock you. It says, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. This man began to build. Think about all, I know a lot of brothers and sisters, too many, that was building in this truth, man. And they didn't endure. Wasn't able to finish. I mean, it don't matter how fast you go to get to the finish line, as long as you be there whenever say, hey, the line gonna be right there. You still, okay, if you move like a turtle or a snail or whatever, you still moving. You ain't gave up, Saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulted whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. You got to sit down and weigh the cost. Are you going to be able to conquer an army that's have double the amount of men that you have? You got 10,000, you got 20,000. Oh, it has been done. Trust and believe this. We have examples in the Bible, especially in the Maccabees, Judas Maccabees, his brothers in the army. But that was that faith that they had. So you got to have faith in the Most High. It says, or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sent an ambassador, which is an ambassador, and desire conditions of peace. He's thinking about it. Wow, I got 10,000 men, they got 20,000. So he sent an ambassador to actually try and come up with an agreement of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. That's why it says, what he's saying, sometimes you got to really look at giving up everything for this truth. That's what he's saying. For likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. You got to be willing to give up everything. And that's why he started off with, you got to hate, your father, your mother, your wife, your children, your brethren, your sisters, and even in your own life, when you have something that's in the way of you doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua. You understand? And it's very important. Shalom, Judge Dredd. Welcome. So it's very, very important that we as a people look at this, what he's saying, and take heed to it. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. Okay. Uh, Luke, the 9th chapter. Like I say, this is for all camps, especially you new camps that's, byproduct of One West. I'm in General Elder Priest Alwan mode tonight. This is soldier is a prisoner of the Father. I have a lot that I'm gonna go through for a young officer and an officer. It's good points to bring out. Like I said, it's really good if you can remember all, a soldier, the sayings that's within, the soldier sheet. And those of old, they can relate because they know we had to deal with this. And you that are not, is something that you could take heed to. Everybody could take heed to. Luke, the 9th chapter, verse 50. Is that what I want? Yeah, verse 57. And it came to pass, Luke 9:57. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Mashiach Yahushua, I will follow you whithersoever thou goest. Right? The Mashiach Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests. See, foxes have holes to go into. Birds have nests. But the Son of Man, Mashiach Yahushua, has not where to lay his head. Hear that? That's why I say you ain't willing to give up everything. But it's truth. It says you ain't worthy to be a disciple. He said he have nowhere to lay his head. See, I don't have nowhere to sleep. And he said to another, follow me. He said, follow me. But he said, Mashiach Yahushua, suffer me first to go and bury my father. So his father had died. Mashiach said, hit him up. Say, follow me. He said, man, let me go bury my father. My father is transitioning. Mashiach was saying to him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. You hear that? He said, let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. So what is his father? Dead, in a dead state of mind. Is that your Jesus? Now he want to bury his father. He said, here, Mashiach said to him, verse 60, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. And another also said, Mashiach Yahushua, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. I'm going to follow you. Let me go home first and tell those that's in my house, I got to go. I'm going. I'm leaving. And Mashiach said, verse 2, and Mashiach said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow, you in this work. You diligently in this work. No man put his hand to the plow, using an example of a farming, a plow that cultivate the land and so forth, when you put growing crops. He said, no man will put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. That's deep, y'all. Get some love out of that. The man's father died. He said, hey, let the dead bury the dead. Follow me. This man only asked him to go back to tell his family, whoever's in his house, farewell. He said, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. For real. You go back and that's, people that went back and they're not in the truth no more. They went back. He said, follow me. He was nearly right there. That's why I say, I gave you, go back for you that wasn't here, how to take orders. and look at my lesson on how to take correction also. A lot of you don't like to be told what to do. How much I was going to come and tell you what to do when he said 3 words and all 600 soldiers fell down to the ground, and you're going to be able to deal with them? We went out the ocean, out into the sea, and talked to people on the shoreline. Thunder is the Most High's voice. How are you going to deal with this? Are you ready really to deal with that? Come on, man. Better understand. It ain't what religions have taught. That's for sure. 1 Thessalonians 5:24. That's why we have to learn to be able to take orders and listen. Some of you strong as ever, but you weak when it comes down to your feelings and all that stuff, man. You got to get off of that. You can't be a man and be soft, man, in your feelings, man. Listen. 1 Thessalonians 5:24. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. 1 Thessalonians 5:24. Faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it. Faithful is he that calleth you. Most I called you into this. He the one that do the calling. Much of us do the truth. Faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it. He's gonna do just what he's saying he's gonna do, y'all. Okay? This is from One West, original One West. And we all was one camp. This is a soldier is a prisoner of the Father. And mind you, when we was all one camp, till the wisdom existed. All praises to the Most High. Look at we go to the next one. It says a soldier must realize that what type of armor he is in, spiritual. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. Right? Ecclesiastes 7:16. These are the guidelines of brothers that are, having these camps or starting the camps and so forth, is to help you in knowing how to come from a member to a soldier, to a young officer, to an officer in rank. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Say, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? You see? So you can't, that's why I tell you, knowledge puffers up. So you can't be righteous over much, because I like to see you being righteous over much, and then you got to be taught by a Mashiach Yahushua for 1,000 years. Think about that. And here we are, we know in part and prophesy in part. Ain't nobody got it all. Or what camp can say that they're going to teach what a Mashiach Yahushua going to teach us 1,000 years? Think about that. Mashiach Yahushua going to reign for 1,000 years. He's going to teach us of the Most High. That's why he say what he say. Be not righteous over much, man. Neither make thyself over wise. Thinking you know all that. We know in part and prophesy in part. You gotta be willing, humbly enough to say, I made a mistake. Okay, I even when you hear me say, I'll praise, I'm sorry, so like you Most High. Right in this lesson, I had to do it. Because I say what's good, commandment's good, the law's good, the commandment, the law is what is it? Commandment is holy, law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good, right? I skipped the Most High first. I had to ask the Most High to forgive me. But we went to Matthew 19 and 16 because I felt that. I don't want to be dealt with. Shoot, y'all know my scriptures. Shoot, Hebrews 10:31 is filled with thee to follow the hands of living power. I'm humbly before the Most High. Care what nobody say. Understand all that. Tell me you don't have to be. Which one you say you don't have to be before the Most High? And everything we do is going to the Most High. So why we start with Colossians 3:17, man. You better fear the Most High. Know that. He said, hey, be not righteous over much. Neither make thyself over wise. Why should thou destroy thyself? Hear that? Because people, next you know, you become prideful. You know, like a lot of you looking for something to be able to cut somebody because what you know. Shoot, man, you better understand. The Most High, the Most High, the Most High. Shoot, power of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Hey, better exalt him than extol him. Say, be not over much wicked, neither thou be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before thy time? You hear that? So you gotta keep the laws, but you ain't gotta be like, like he said, being not righteous over much, man. Better take heed. Look what it tells you in the Apocrypha, in Ecclesiasticus 7 and 16. It said, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners. Remember that wrath will not tarry long. You got to think about it. It say, number thyself, even in your mind. See, I think people don't really realize that, that's why I do lessons on the tongue and your words. It said, number thyself. Think about it. When you go back to your past, and you ain't even keeping no laws. You don't even know that we're supposed to keep no laws. You don't know about no moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, sacrificial laws at all. I would say, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners. Now, we all came from sinners. I don't give a dang what Christian insanity religion you come from. We all come from sinners, being around sinners. And some of you still around sinners, still out of them in your mind, knowing good and well that they wasn't righteous. That's why I say, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners. That's why he told Ezra to get those that, go find those that's humble and keeping the commandments of the Most High and not prideful. Because that's hateful before man and the Most High. And a Mashiach Yahushua say, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners. But remember that wrath will not tarry long. What does it say? Humble thy soul. See, here it is. You're not going to get away from this. It say, humble thy soul greatly. For the vengeance of the unrighteous is fire and worms. So the vengeance of those that you go back to, that we can go back to in the world and say, oh, yeah, it was like this, it was like that. They was wicked. Now you don't put yourself with the wicked. That's why I say he's going to burn you up. Straight up. Look, it says, humble thy soul greatly. For the vengeance of the unrighteous is fire and worms. Now you put yourself back, or I put myself back with them ungodly people, unrighteous people that's getting fire and worms, and you can't stop this. You're going to get fire and worms before them. I mean, I can show you. I show it all the time, man. It's like, hey, say the dog and went back to his vomit. That's what you're doing. Look. That's what you're doing. That's how he look at you. That's a dang nasty pig. In your mind, because you ain't there with them, but you still going back there with them. What's the difference? Talk to me. Tell me that ain't different. Because you're going to, every other word you're going to give account of in the day of judgment. Every last one of them. Look what it say. 2 Peter 2 and 21. Would have been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, not to learn the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, then after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. Right? Because he's telling you how to operate. That's why he said, look, it's very important. 2 Peter 2 and 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world, that's our old past, that old man, that old woman, that old child, whatever, through the knowledge of the Hamashiach Yahushua, our Savior, they are again entangled therein. So you can be entangled with the world in your thoughts. You know, the past was better than right now. I can't even form my mouth to even think that. The past in the wickedness of the world, being in the world, not knowing the law, statutes, commandments, not following the law, statutes, commandments, following Christmas and Easter and birthdays and whatever you think the Most High said we ain't supposed to be doing. What you doing? And the person that I go back to, that's what they still doing. That's what they doing. I'm going back there. They say it's been better. Look, they are again entangled there, and whether mind, spirit, or just going back there with them and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. It's been better for them not to have been called to learn what it is that we're teaching, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and learning of the sacrificial laws. Well, we know Mashiach is the ultimate sacrifice. Then after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. Because the commandments of the Most High telling you, you have to become a new man. You got to become a new woman, a new child, born again. That's becoming new, transforming your mind from the world to this world as an Israelite, point blank. But it has happened unto them, according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again. We done went back to the past, to the present, trying to bring the past and the present. No, the dog, he called you a dog. The dog is turned to his own vomit again. And the soul, the nasty, filthy, nasty pig that was washed, you washed with the word of the Most High. Mashiach said in St. John 15:3, now you are clean through the word that I'm speaking to you. This nasty pig, filthy, nasty pig that was washed to her wallowing in the myrrh, wallowing in the slop. That's how he look at you. Point blank. That's why a soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. For real. Ephesians 6:10. We're dealing with a soldier is a prisoner of the Father. This is from the original One West, and we was all one camp. Nobody that you can see out there that's a camp right now existed. Well, except for Shield of Wisdom, we did exist. And we all was one camp. One West. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong by Shah and in the power of his might. Say, put on the whole armor with the protection of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. It's very important. But we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We ain't wrestling against flesh and blood. A man, it says, or a woman, that's flesh and blood. It says, but against principalities. These are invisible principalities, against powers, invisible powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world. You see? This is what we're wrestling against. Against spiritual wickedness. You hear that? Spiritual wickedness. Invisible wickedness in high places. This is what we're wrestling against. Say, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High. That's why when you look at even with the devil, tells you. 2 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be focused. Don't be no drunkard. Be vigilant, because your adversary, your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion ready to pounce on something and kill it. Walking about, seeking whom he may devour. That's our enemy that we fighting against. Following the righteous way of the Most High, which is his laws, statutes, commandments, he against that. He want us to not keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High. That's his whole job. That's when the Mashiach rebuked him with the laws and his commandments that you preachers are saying you weed out under. So you ain't teaching people how to rebuke the devil. Why you not teaching that? Why you not going through the law to show what Amashawashai did to rebuke the devil. That's real simple. When the Spirit showed me that, I'm like, okay, I'm showing it over and over again. Why are you not showing the people how to rebuke the devil? Because what are you doing? He said, look, your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. Right? Going up and down, to and fro in the earth. That cross that y'all run around y'all neck and so forth. Say, who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions, don't sound like no love, happiness, and joy to be. The same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. That's why most I say, in your affliction, you're going to seek him early. Some of you will have to be afflicted a whole lot because you ain't there. You ain't there. Y'all think this is some kind of religion. It's no religion, man. It's real. Do y'all understand? Most I said in Isaiah 58 and 10, to please in the bruise of Mashiach Yahushua. It's no easy task. You know, it's a lot we have to deal with. We talk about the adversary, the enemy that's in high places, demons in high places. You think the devil know we got a short time? You think he ain't trying to stop us from bringing forth this truth? They don't want to hear these things as solutions. That works. That our ancestors, we're going to talk about calling you answers. That our ancestors are showing us. Come on, man. Listen. Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor, that's the whole protection of the Most High, by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. We're in the evil day, y'all. In having done all to stand, not to sit down or not to be willing to stand up for the Most High. He already asked in Psalm 94:16, who will rise up for me against the evil doers? Who's going to stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Say, a righteous man going to stand in great boldness in the face of such a afflicting them and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be filled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangers of our salvation. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1 and 2. Y'all better understand, man. He says, stand therefore. You say sit, no, he say stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. What's the truth, class? We know that. Psalms 119, 142. We can sing it together. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Come on. So you stand with the laws and the commandments of the Most High. That's your protection. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, with the laws and the commandments of the Most High, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. What's righteousness? Come on. The truth, righteousness in the same verse. What's righteousness? Keeping of the commandments of the Most High. Keeping of the laws of the Most High. Deuteronomy 6:25. We just read earlier, Psalm 119, 172. You know, his word, his law is righteous. Listen. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. So above all, taking the shield of faith, your belief in the Most High, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. By doing what? Keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, being able to pronounce the laws to the wicked. And take the helmet, where helmet go? On your head and your mind, of salvation, powers and authority, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Come on, y'all. Better hear this. 2 Corinthians 6 and 10. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. 2 Corinthians 6 and 7. 2 Corinthians 6 and 7. By the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left hand. On the right hand, on the left. I mean, we got to go through it. Okay. We know what truth is. We already sung that. Psalm 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. She always saying the same thing. I mean, how you preachers get by this? Look, that's why we got to define it. without a shadow of a doubt. Therefore, nobody can have anything to gainsay on with what it's saying by the word of truth. We know the truth is Psalm 119, 142, by the power of the Most High, right? That's spiritual power of the Most High, coming from the Most High to fight them demons in high places. The armor, the protection of righteousness, protection that comes with righteousness on the right hand and on the left. What's righteousness? Deuteronomy 6:25. What's righteousness? Let's define it. Nobody can gainsay us. Deuteronomy 6:25. And it shall be our righteousness if, that's condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, which He have commanded us. That's righteousness, keeping of the commandments of the Most High. Going back to 2 Corinthians 6. And a soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. 2 Corinthians 6 and 7 again. By the word of truth, by the word of the laws and the commandments of the Most High, by the power of the Most High, the spiritual power of the Most High, by the armor, the protection of righteousness. You hear that? You hear that? Protection is with keeping the Most High's commandments, His laws. See that? On the right hand and on the left. By honor and dishonor. By evil report and good report. You see this balance here? As deceivers and yet true. And these are the things, this is the way that people are going to treat you. They'll dishonor you. They'll give you an evil report. They're going to call you deceitful. You're lying, but yet you're telling the truth. And some going to give you honor. This is what I was going to say. You got to take up your cross. Take up this affliction. You got to be ready for it. Trust and believe this. As unknown and yet well unknown. Excuse me. As unknown and yet well known. You see? Unknown but yet well known. As dying and behold we live. As chastened and not killed. Sure, you're going to go through something. And you got that both sides, He say He love you, chastened. And He's going to get you for doing wrong. Point blank. But He ain't killed us. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. You see, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. As we read in Ecclesiastes 2 and 4. Whatsoever the Most High gives you, take cheerfully. As sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. As poor, yet making many rich in His word. As having nothing and yet possessing all things. That's a spiritual mind. That's why I said a soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. This is how you're going to fight these battles. Okay? Colossians 1 and 10. Colossians 1 and 10. That you might walk worthy of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahweh unto all pleasing. Doing what He said do. Being fruitful in every good work. You hear that? Being fruitful in every good work. We know what's good. The commandments and the laws are good. Romans 7 and 12. And increasing in the knowledge of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahweh, what we're supposed to be doing. It says, strengthen with all might according to His glorious power. You hear that? That glorious power is His spiritual power that you get from the Most High. When you operate in how He would have you operate in keeping His laws, statutes, commandments. Having faith in Him unto all patience. Patience deal with time, y'all, and long suffering a long time. With joyfulness, see? Look what it comes after patience and long suffering. Suffering a long time. What do you say? With joyfulness. No different than what we read in Ecclesiastes 2 and 4. Whatsoever the Most High give you, take cheerfully. Be patient. We now, change to a lower state. There it is. It says, giving thanks unto the Father, which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. You hear that? Giving thanks unto the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which have made us meet, which is right, to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints, and the saints are the children of Israel. Psalm 148:14 proves that, in light. And that light is the commandments of the Most High. But if you look at light as, okay, well, you turn on the light, turn the switch on, that's light, without knowing what light is. In Proverbs 6:23, that's why I like to define these words according to what the scriptures say. You can't go wrong with that. That was Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, you see. So you're supposed to already know that the law is light. So by the time, I think a lot of people don't realize Paul was like taught by one of the top scholars of our nation, and he was a Pharisee, so he knew these scriptures. He knew the scriptures. So a lot of times he's saying things that you should already be knowing. Like somebody might say, okay, well, you kind of advanced for someone that's a beginner, but that's when you read Paul's writing, that's why it's hard to understand, because he's speaking to those like, a lot of times, that's why these words have to be defined. Here it is. Proverbs 6:23, as far as that light. You can see in the New Testament. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. You see? So now, Colossians 1 and 12 again, giving thanks unto the Most High the Father, which have made us meet or right to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, and keeping the commandments of the Most High, keeping the laws of the Most High. You ain't getting no inheritance without keeping the commandments of the Most High. Make sense? Listen, who have delivered us from the power of darkness, the power of ignorance, not knowing, being dumb. And that's what he told Esau. He told him, he said, hey, Isaiah 47:5 said, hey, shut up and get thee in the darkness. Sit thee silent, be quiet, shut up, and get thee in the darkness. And when he went into darkness, he put the people in gross darkness, gross ignorance. Until this day, that's why I say, who have delivered us from the power of darkness. From the power of darkness. Ignorance, not knowing. And have translated us into the kingdom of his dear son, Mashiach Yahushua, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Now, let you know, it said we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, right? Acts 5:30 and 31 show who that's to. Not everyone, but everybody will read that and say it's talking to them. No, it's not. Clearly. Let the Bible answer itself. Acts 5:30. The power of our fathers. Who's that? Because a lot of y'all say y'all believe in the Most High. But a lot of y'all say the Most High is the Mashiach Yahushua and Christian insanity. That's crazy. Look, here it is right here. The power of our fathers. Who is that? Acts 3:13. Power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob. The power of our fathers. That's why you hear me say all the time, that's his name, a memorial to all generations, he said. It's very clear why I use that, because people can use the name, Yahweh or whatever name, but anybody can say they believe on him. But then when they say he's their power, and he say he's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. You name them 12 tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. What tribe are they from? When they say they ain't ordained no Jew, they're Gentile. But they believe in the Most High. They pray to the Most High, but it's not the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as I just defined. That's what we say he's the power of. Here it is. That's why he's saying what? Acts 5:30. The power of our fathers. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Raised up a Mashiach Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Wicked Israelites gave him up to the Romans, and the so-called white man killed him. Hung him on a tree. Right? Him, who was Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel, to the Israelites, and what? And forgiveness of sins. To the Israelites, it's saying. He said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Colossians 1:14, in whom we have redemption through his blood. That's the Mashiach Yahushua, even the forgiveness of sins. Repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. You just heard it clear, without a shadow of a doubt. No one else. You're not going to find it says anyone else. Ephesians 5:20. We're looking at a soldier must realize what type of armor he is in. Spiritual. Ephesians 5:20. Ephesians 5:20. Giving thanks always for all things unto the Most High and the Father, by Shama Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the known as Savior. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of the Most High. You hear that? Submitting yourselves one to another. So our soldier and prisoner of the Father got to know how to take orders, commandments of men. They say, committing yourselves one to another in the fear of the Most High. Okay? Psalm 27. Psalm 27. I'm covering a lot on this. Soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. Psalm 27:4. One thing have I desired of the Most High, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Most High all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Most High and to inquire of his temple. For in time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. That's what we want. Hopefully you want this. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. That's what we want, y'all. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. Psalm 91:1. He's our help. He's our only hope. He's our only help. Mashiach Yahushua can't do anything. He can't move from the right-hand side of the Most High to the Most High says, rise, son. Rise, Mashiach Yahushua. Go and fulfill what it tells. I'm telling you in Revelation 19:11. Go and fulfill judging this earth, making war in this earth in righteousness, according to the laws and the commandments of the Most High. And you think it's not important? Come on. Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Straight up, man. We're gonna abide in the secret place of the Most High Rajazawan will, and we're gonna abide under the shadow of the Almighty, who is a Mashiach Yahushua. Look. Revelation 1:8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending. Said a Mashiach Yahushua, which is and which was. Most High never was. You understand this? Most High always is. Right? You know, it's a Mashiach Yahushua. He said, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending. Said a Mashiach Yahushua, which is and which was and which is to come. Who? The Almighty. You see that? The Mashiach Yahushua. Okay. Proverbs 4:7. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. So wisdom is the proper application of how you apply knowledge in your life. Now, knowledge is the gathering of the right information or the gathering of the wrong information, right and wrong information, either or, to give you wisdom, how to apply it in your life or not to apply it in your life. You know what I mean? Because if you just know righteous, you just know what's right, and you don't know what's wrong. Remember, we ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So therefore, the wicked gonna come with something that sound good, but they have everybody twisted. But it's evil, and that's what they tell you. I mean, I don't think enough of you have studied the Illuminati to know how they operate. These demons in high places, how they operate. It tell you how they operate. Once those that are left, they were born. So we born into this truth. We learning what we learning. And some of you born into whatever religion that you dealing with, you know that. They know what they learned. They were programmed to learn a certain way. And if you have not studied that, then you would not know, you know, because they're gonna come with the good. It seemed like it's, good. Like when I was in Pasadena, they say they come to represent the devil. Straight up. Out of their mouth. We come to represent the devil. And they were smiling, styling, profiling, happy and all that, but they had wicked things that they had every single week against us. But they were smiling, styling, profiling. You would never know that, they the devil. But they said straight up, they come to represent the devil. I ain't never been nowhere nobody said that. And brought it forth, made sure they brought things, let you know that they represent the devil. So wisdom is the principal thing with all that getting good understanding. So wisdom is the gathering of the right information or the gathering of the right hand and the left hand. What's good and what's evil. How do you know if you just know what's good and you don't know the evil gonna pretend like it's good to fool you, then that's you and evil. Your attitude, whatever you're dealing with is evil because you don't follow the way of this world. And they got a lot of things that mind control that they're working on people right now. Trust me, in the food, and people that took the jab. I mean, all kinds of things they saying. If you do your research, that they want to get rid of us, man. Well, we gotta look at all kind of ways of dissecting what it is that has happened to have a reversal of the fact of the matter of what it is that is coming against us. Because it's always coming against us. We just have to know how to tap into the Most High. Ain't no power but the Most High. You exalt the Most High, praise the Most High. You know how to say that. And go in His Word and see all the praises that He's getting and have been getting. And praise Him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, man. And love the Most High with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. Be able to let Him be tapped into you. Or stay where you at with your own vain opinion. You'll see. I'm just here to warn you. I done seen it over and over again, man. So much that we have to look at to be able to not allow this devil to have the advantage of us. And that's through the Most High. Why Mashiach Yahushua, Bashama Mashiach Yahushua, and the holy angels that's on this earth right now, that's around me and around you right now. Some holy and some wicked. That's why I say Proverbs 4. Some of y'all got wicked angels around you. I must say it because you do. If you ain't tapping to the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua, what angels you got around you? Talk to me. Prove you got righteous angels around you. You ain't tapping to the Most High. He ain't even in your conversation. Come on. That's why you say you got to come out of this world. You can't be like this world. The world, look. Better understand it here. It's serious, man. Keep playing around. This ain't nothing to play with. Show. Showed you what Satan doing. Look. 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. Take it lightly if you want to. It says, hey, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. They hid to those that are lost, in whom the God of this world, the devil, have blinded the minds of them which believe not. They don't want to believe what this word is saying. Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. You see? Look at this. Let's look at 2 Corinthians 4 and 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, which is getting something you don't deserve to get, we faint not. See, a lot of brothers have fainted. A lot of sisters have fainted. It just take one thing, boom, you out. Because you ain't really got no foundation to endure. I mean, come on, there's enough examples in here that let you know, hey, this ain't no easy walk, but you still got to endure. You got to find something that you actually putting your brick into this truth. A lot of y'all just all about yourself. You ain't doing nothing pertaining to what it is that you need to do or trying to do to make sure that you're doing something for somebody else in the truth. It's very important. That's what it says. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness like the devil means deceitful and evil and crafty and slick. It says, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. A lot of people doing this, but by manifestation of the truth, manifestation of the laws and the commandments of the Most High. Where we at in the New Testament? Manifestation of the laws and the commandments of the Most High, commending ourselves to every man's conscience, every man's mind in the sight of the Most High, because the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, even the secret parts. So that's what we're supposed to be doing. And that's that craftiness comes from the devil. Crafty, slick, cunning, all that comes from the devil. And he's like that, but he come like he's honest. He's polite. He can't come like he really is. But in the end, you see that, huh? You're going to reap what it is that he's bringing. He don't love us. Nobody love us. Nobody care about us. Especially the Israelite man. What I say? Talk to me. What I say? You don't see that. That's why we have the heart. Then we have to deal with, the spirits and the feelings. That's why I say you deal with spirits in high places. Them high places, them demons in high places, they come and deal with us and dealing with us trying to continue in this truth, through different means. It's just a matter of how strong you're gonna be as a man and don't become that weaker vessel like a woman. A lot of you men like women. Y'all weak. I remember having a brother march. Oh man, it's hot out there, man. I'm like, what? I'm General Elder Thawam tonight. Come on, what are you talking about? Man, we had the march. It was sun beaming down on us. We got backpacks, we got everything. Martial arts, you got to do all that sun beating down on us. You got to fall down and do push-ups in a dang old hot asphalt, glass all over the place. Boom. Down, up, down, up. When you look at you pulling glass out your dang on fingers and your knuckles and stuff. What you talking about? Oh no, I wouldn't be doing that. Well, you done been in the truth. Y'all talking about One West? Yeah, we had it like that. Come on, man. Y'all gotta band up, man. It's gonna be tough in these times to come. While I'm dealing with this, a soldier is a prisoner of the Father. And you look at anybody that went to boot camp in Esau's army, what they had to deal with. Find out. Tell them to tell you what they had to go through. Come on, man. You gotta take off that weak nature. Gird up your loins like a man, the Most High say. Look, St. John 1:10. He was in the world. Mashiach was in the world. And the world was made by him. You hear that? The world was made by a Mashiach that was shot through the power of the Most High. And the world knew him not. Like people don't know him now. Enough, I might say. Can you say he come in the volume of the book? You should know him in every chapter of the Bible. You say he come in the volume of the book is written of him to do the will of the Most High. He came into his own. He came into the Israelites and his own received him not. And that's where Christian Insanity people, they stop right there. They know that scripture. He came into his own and his own received him not. That's why they say they don't want to be a Jew. Why? Because he came into his own received him not. But if we keep reading, they don't teach this. They don't teach verse 12. But as many as received him. So some of us received him. And we back on this earth right now. Gave he power, that spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on Bashama Mashiach Yahushua. Better understand. Soldier must realize what type of armor he is in. It's spiritual. But see, if you don't understand that, then what does that mean to you? If you don't understand that, Acts 2:38. You don't understand that spiritual power that's in Basham Mashakafsha. We say no man come to the Father but by him. Ain't no New Testament. They only had the law and the prophets when he's saying that. But see, if you don't really take yourself out of crisp insanity mindset to realize they only had the law and the prophets when he walked the earth, you know, think about it. When Messiah walked the earth, all y'all like to run to Paul, whom they was Saul, who was killing people that called on in the name of the anointed Savior, Bashama Mashak as Saul. He was converted. He had to be converted, but he was diligent, die hard about what he was about. And once he was about Bashama Mashak in the name of the anointed Savior, he was die hard about that. Straight up. Diligent man. That's why you see the New Testament mainly written with him, by him. Acts 2:38. Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you. How? In the name of the anointed Savior, for remission of sins. We already seen in Acts 5:30 and 31, it says, repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins, for remission of sins to the Israelites. And ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. For the promise is unto you and to your children and to all that are far off, that we scatter among all these nations, even as many as the Most High, our power, shall call. It's just the highest calling you to be called into. It's very important, you see, to understand, man, and realize that for you to be able to learn this truth, learn it, live it, apply it in your life, it's the highest calling that you could be called into. Look, there was a bet. You said, I found there was a bet. What is the greatest thing in the world? And one said the king. Another said wine. And another said the truth and women. Which one you think won? The truth and women. That's what won. So let's go to 1 Ezra 4. You read the whole story yourself. I just kind of gave you a synopsis of what it's saying in 1 Ezra 4. I'm going to go to the fact of the matter. The third one said the truth and women. It spent most of the time on women, right? Because women is after the truth. That's why he won. He said the truth and women. So now we're going to look at the truth. Like I said, it's calling that you've been called into the truth, knowing the laws, learning to live and apply the laws and the commandments of the Most High. Listen to what it says. We're going to look at 1 Ezra 4 and 34. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in his course. For he compasses the heavens round about, and fetters his course again to his own place in one day. I mean, going around in one day, right? Is he not great that maketh these things? Is not the Most High great that maketh these things? Therefore, great is the truth, and stronger than all things, right? All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesses it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. You understand? That's why it's so important to go over the laws and the commandments of the Most High, the first 5 books of Moses. And once you learn them, you see that it's going to go all throughout the Bible. That's why it says, great is the truth and stronger than all things. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesses it. All works shake and tremble at it. You hear that? All works shake and tremble at it. You think, so what do you think? So if the truth is the laws and the commandments of the Most High, and these pork-chop-eating preachers are having you not keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High, what do you think? You ain't shaking nothing. You ain't moving nothing. Because you say, hey, the truth, it says, makes, it's what it say, all works shake and tremble at this truth, his laws and commandments of the Most High. And with it is no unrighteous thing. Say, wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. And you not keeping the commandments and the laws of the Most High, thus it says, you shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. All praises to the Most High. With her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she does the things that are just and refraining from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness. You hear that? That's why you got to know what righteousness is, which is keeping of the Most High's commandment. So with the truth, there is no unrighteousness, not gonna ever not keep the commandments of the Most High. And she is strength. That's your strength. Like he said, we're gonna be under the shadow of the Most High and under Hamashiach Yahushai, all power and almighty. It says, hey, kingdom. It said she is the strength, kingdom, power, that's spiritual power, and majesty, being in control, authority of all ages. Blessed be the Most High power of truth. You hear that? Blessed be the Most High power of truth. Blessed be the Most High power of his laws and statutes, commandments that he gave to we the Israelites to learn them to live and apply in our life. And with that, he held his peace. And all the people then shouted, these other nations, and said, great is truth and mighty above all things. See? Then said he unto the king, remember thy vow, which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou camest to thy kingdom. Because Cyrus had already vowed that he would, allow us to build the temple, because the Most High was dealing with him. To have us build the temple. So this is what he asked me. You're going to say you can get anything you want. This is what he said. This is the mindset of a solution that you're looking at, and not just looking at yourself, looking at himself. You say, hey, remember thou vow, which thou hast vowed to build Jerusalem in the day when thou camest to the kingdom, and to send away all the vessels that were taken away out of Jerusalem, which Cyrus set apart. That's King Cyrus of the Persian and Mede Empire. This is the empire that the Greeks took down. History in the Bible. When he vowed to destroy Babylon, because we was under the Babylonians for 70 years, and to send them again thither, right? Thou also have vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees. So we were in the captivity under the Babylonians under King Nebuchadnezzar. We, the Israelites, mainly Judaism and Levite and all the tribes that were with us at that time. The Edomites, the so-called white men, burnt down our temple. Over and over again, you see in the scriptures, they burnt down our temple. They destroyed our temples. For destroying our temple, we can't go in there to sacrifice animals for the atonement of our sins. We can go in there and praise the Most High. So it's taking the Most High away from us. And when you understand this, it makes sense when you see the devil know he got a short time. He comes down with much wrath on those that keep the commandments of the Most High. That's us. And have a testament of Mashiach Yahushua. Come on, y'all. Just don't take a rocket science and figure it out. It's real easy. But the thing about it, you got to deal with the Most High. Go back to Acts 2, the 2nd chapter. And the holy angels. And those spirits that's on this earth waiting for the commandment of the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Look. Acts 2:38. Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized, every one of you, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, the name of the Lord, Savior, for remission of sins, which we read in Acts 5:31, repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. And you shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. It says, for the promises unto you and to your children and to all that are far off. Remember, this is a spiritual war that we fight. even as many as the Most High our power shall call, right? Who the promises for? Real quick. Romans 9. Tell you the promises for. Romans 9. We start at verse 3. For I could wish, this Paul, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach Yahushua for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Look what pertains to the Israelites. Who pertains to the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. To who? Who are Israelites, you see? So the promises are to the Israelites. The promises that he's talking about here, that you know that he's talking to the Israelites. They have to be Israelites because that's who the promise is for. Okay? Okay, back to Acts 2 and 41. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized. And the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. About 3,000 souls. They were baptized. Because, I mean, understand this. Baptism, first and foremost, is you have to be learning the word. Ephesians 5:26. Ephesians 5:26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. You see? And what Mashiach said in St. John 15:3, now you are clean through the word that I speak unto you. St. John 17:17, sanctify them through that truth. That word is truth. We know the truth is the laws of the Most High. You can get the laws and statute commandments of the Most High and the judgments from the word. You know? John 8:32, when you John 8:32. You shall know the truth. The scripture says the truth gonna set you free. John 8:32. And ye shall know the truth. What's the truth, y'all? It's very important to understand the definition of these words. Well, I'll go to Deuteronomy 6:25 and Psalms 119, 142. It's very, very important. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, right? Free you up from the wiles of the devil and those that don't want you to learn how to please the Most High. Point blank. Remember, a soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. I know I went in on that, but that's okay. Next one. A soldier must learn discipline. A soldier must learn discipline. A soldier must learn discipline. Proverbs 4:7. Proverbs 4:7. Soldier must learn discipline. These are, like I said, these are stipulations of how it's supposed to be with brothers, you know, setting up these camps and how to bring order into the camps. Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom, which is proper application of knowledge, and knowledge is the gathering of the right information or gathering of the wrong information. It's the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. When you have gathered the right information or the wrong information, so you'll recognize the evil and the wrong information compared to the right information and how to apply it in your life, that's wisdom. You say, well, with all I get understanding. And once you have the proper gathering of the information to apply it in your life, then you can look at understanding to this perspective and Job 28:28. Job 28:28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Most High, that is wisdom. You see? Wisdom is the principal thing. So we got to add the fear of the Most High. To be afraid and scared of the Most High, that is wisdom. And to depart from evil is understanding. But how you gonna know how to depart from evil if you don't know what's righteous? You ain't took enough time to learn what's right, what's righteous. When you learn what's righteous, then you can look at, okay, that's evil. Or you look at what the evil is. That's why I said we dealing with demons in high places, spiritual demons in high places. While we have to know the tactics of the devil. So you don't be fooled by them. They come smiling, and profiling in your face. Wisdom of Solomon 6. Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter. We're looking at a soldier must learn discipline. Wisdom of Solomon 6. These are the stipulations that we all learn when we was one camp. All of us. Wisdom of Solomon 6:19. And if they didn't, then hey, maybe you can learn now. Can't review enough. Wisdom of Solomon 6:19. And incorruptible maketh us near unto the Most High. You hear that? And incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Salaki. Let's look at verse 12. Wisdom of Solomon 6:12. Salaki. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 6:12. And we're going to read verse 17. Wisdom of Solomon 6:12. Wisdom is glorious and never faded away. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her. You see, wisdom is glorious and never faded away. Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her. You got to seek wisdom. And she could be found of you if you love her. And you're not going to have it unless you follow the Most High's rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments, point blank. Verse 17, for the very true beginning of her wisdom is the desire of discipline. You see? The very true beginning of her, which is wisdom, is the desire of discipline. You got to be in order. You got to know the protocol of what you have to do to please the Most High and dealing with each other. The very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. And we know, and love is the keeping of her laws. You see? And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. You keep her laws, you're not going to be corrupt. It's the assurance of incorruption by doing what the Most High say do. And it tell you in 2 John 6 also concerning the love. 2 John 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. Walk after keeping his commandments, doing what he say do. That you can have the wisdom. Simple as that. A soldier must learn order. A soldier must learn order. A soldier must learn order. I'll see you time constraint. I'm not going to be able to finish all this, but 1 Corinthians 11:3. First and foremost, this is the order that the Most High set up. And believe this, a lot of times, I find that brothers ain't really remembering this order. That's why a lot of times, a lot of what you see is just geared toward people. And they have forgot about this order. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. You can't go wrong if you continue to follow this order. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach Yahushua. So Mashiach Yahushua is the head of the man. And the head of the woman. And the head of the woman is the man. So the head of the woman is the man. And the head of a Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. You see? The head of Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High. That's the order. A soldier must learn order. Ephesians 5:21. I got a lot more than I'm going to go into as far as soldiership. But it's very important. That's the first step that a man comes into in coming into this truth, man. Ephesians 5:23. It says, for the king, you know, HUSBAND goes back to BAAL. For the king, I'll say, is the head of the wife, even as a Mashiach Yahushua is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. You see? Therefore, as the church is subject to Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own kings in everything. Say, husbands, love your wives. Even as Mashiach Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it. That's why we all have to be trying to be as righteous as we can, following the way of how it is that we've been taught, or if you haven't been taught, ask questions, be able to be taught, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That's what we got to conduct ourselves by, what it is that's written in this Bible, his word. That way we can follow the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, man and woman, and keep that order. And when you're dealing with anything, always go back to the Most High first. If he can be in there, put the Most High first. Then put a Mashiach Yahushua, then man, then woman. You'll be all right. A lot of times, you know, we lose that order. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. And when you stop losing that, when you lose that order, next thing you know, you're dealing with man. Like a lot of us, they're dealing with man, more so than the Most High. They give honor to a leader or whoever, the preacher, whoever, more so than the Most High. That's why I said 1 Corinthians 14:40. Let all things be done decently and in order. And we gave the order. Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, man and woman, point blank. That's why I say a soldier must learn order. A soldier must learn punctuality. Punctuality. How to be on time, right? A soldier must learn punctuality. Romans 13 and 1. Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject to the higher powers. But there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. You get caught up in whatever you caught up in, the Most High set up the order. You know, sometimes the order is set up so that, hey, it don't be cool the way you want it to be. Why? By the time the Most High be checking me. Well, we have to, like I say, you got to man up. You got to man up. Look at this. You ready for this? Say it. Soldier must learn order. You ready for this? 1 Peter 2. And we're going to read, start at verse 17. Honor all men. We talking about Israelite men. Love the brotherhood, Israelites. Fear the Most High. Honor the king. Mashiach Yahushua. His servants be subject to your teachers with all fear. Like I said, that MASTERS goes back to BAAL. I'm not saying that. Servants be subject to your own, and they use that in slavery. Why they put it there? And we could say that word, but we ain't say it because, you know, Most High said, hey, be circumspect. And in Exodus 23 and 13, And don't let the name of other gods come out of thy mouth. We could say that. We said massa, which means oppressor. Servants, be subject to your teachers with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, those that's cool and gentle, but also to the froward. You hear that? Those that's hardcore. For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward the Most High endure grief, suffering wrongfully. You know, you ain't did nothing, but you still suffering wrongfully for something that you didn't do. What y'all do? Y'all got to argue and go be ready to jack somebody up. You know, jack somebody up. For that matter, you know. We say, hey, for this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward the Most High. If you think about the Most High, endure grief, suffering wrongfully. You know you haven't done anything wrong. I mean, but you in the army, so you looking at, hey, you're going to have those that are forward. Don't mean the Most High love them. He hate the forward. But he'll use the forward, those type of people, to check you. What it say? Suffering wrongfully. You did nothing wrong, but you still suffer for it. But what glory is it if, when ye are buffeted, you're buffeted, you check for your faults, the things you've done wrong, ye shall take it patiently. What it say? A soldier must learn order. But what glory is it if, when you are buffeted, you check for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if, when you do well, you ain't done nothing wrong, and suffer for it, you might be accused of something, or somebody just, you brought up on charges unjustly. You take it patiently. This is what it say. This is acceptable with the Most High. What did he say? Verse 19. Well, this is thankworthy. What did it say? A soldier must learn order. I'm in general elder priest wine mode right now. But this is thankworthy if a man, for conscience toward the Most High, endure grief, suffering wrongfully. But is your mind thinking about the Most High, or you just think about your own feelings? See, that's why I say, when you understand, like he said, whatever you take cheerfully, and that will eat somebody alive. Trust me, I done did it. It'll eat them alive. Those that are forward like this, that eat them up. When you follow what the Most High tell us to do. He told us twice in this lesson right here. What it say? A soldier must learn order. It said, hey, well, what glory is it? Verse 20. If, when you are buffeted, you check for your faults, you take it patiently. But if, when you do well, you ain't did nothing wrong and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High. Shut up and deal with it. For even hereunto, check it out. For even hereunto were ye called. It's the calling that you've been called into. Because the Mashiach would say, also suffer for us, leaving us an example that you should follow his steps. I like to say in Christian insanity, y'all Christ light, but you can't take nothing. And we as Israelites have to be able to look at what it is that the Most High is telling us how to operate in these mortal bodies who did no sin. The Mashiach did not sin. He did not break the commandments of the Most High. Neither was guile, lies found in his mouth. Who, when he was reviled, they was arguing with him. Reviled not again. That's why you got to learn to shut up. You got to learn to be quiet. You don't always have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Look what it's saying. He left an example. But when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously, committed himself to the Most High, whom his own self bear our sins. We, the children of Israel, sins in his own body, on the tree. Instead of cross, it say on the tree, that we, as the Israelites, being dead to sins, keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, should live unto righteousness, which is keeping of the Most High's commandments, keeping of the Most High's laws, by whose stripes you were healed, man. For ye were as sheep going astray out there in the world, not knowing what you know now. And some of you that started to learn, you should learn more. but are now returning to the shepherd and bishop of your soul. Now return to a Mashiach Yahushua. That's why I say a soldier must learn order. Check out that order we just heard about. A soldier must learn punctuality. Punctuality. Romans 13:1. A soldier must learn punctuality. Romans 13:1. Like I said, I have a lot more that I'm going to go over besides what I'm dropping right here with pertaining to soldiers and prisoners of the Father and of Mashiach Yahushua. Next, to say Romans 13:1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. But there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Soldier must learn punctuality, man. Soldier must learn duties. What's your duty? Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Better be afraid and scared of the Most High. Highly respect him because you're afraid of him and you're scared of him. And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man, to keep his commandments, keep his laws. For this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. Ain't nothing being hid from him. When the books are open, everything will be revealed. Whether it be good, whether you kept the commandments of the Most High, you know what's good. Romans 7 and 12. The law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Whether it be good, whether you kept the commandments and the laws of the Most High, or whether it be evil, you didn't. And those that don't keep the commandments of the Most High, I don't give a damn who they are. They evil. Or make it mean something different. Whether it be good or whether it be evil. You're not keeping the commandments of the Most High, you evil. No matter who they are. It don't matter. A soldier must learn responsibilities. A soldier must learn love for the Father. 1 John 5 and 3. 1 John 5 and 3. 1 John 5 and 3. What is the love of the Most High? That we keep his commandments. Anything changed from what we just read in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13? No. This is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. We're supposed to be sad and doing what's right. A soldier must learn love for Mashiach Yahushua. St. John 14 and 15. St. John 14, 15. If you love me, Mashiach Yahushua said, keep my commandments. Keep the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws. St. John 20, the 21st chapter, John 21. Verse 15 through 17. So when they had dined, Mashiach said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, yeah, Mashiach Yahushua, thou knowest that I love thee. So you know I love you. He said unto him, feed my lambs. Feed the children of Israel. He said to him, again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yeah, Mashiach Yahushua, thou knowest that I loved you, that I loved thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Mashiach Yahushua, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. You know it that I love you. Mashiach said unto him, feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. That's why it says, A soldier must learn love for the Father. A soldier must learn love for Mashiach Yahweh Shah. He said, feed my sheep. That's why it's very important that we learn to live and apply in our life and we feed in someone else. That's what it's all about. Verse 18 says, and I want to say that I'm going to cross that out, and you can cross it out. Gerily goes back to Amen too. Why I just kept? Oh, you don't want to write. Okay. But you don't have to say that. You don't really need it. But they put it in there so you calling on Amen. And it's saying what? Amen, Amen, I. Canceling out of Mashiach Yahweh Shai. And I mean, they're real slick with what they've done. That's why I know they don't want this to go out. They don't want this to be popular because it's spiritual. It's really spiritual. So the way I'm gonna not do it is to move it out the way, cross it out. I don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. Just a moment. Lost my connection on conference call. But it says, okay. It says, I say unto thee, St. John 21:18, when thou was young, thou girded thyself, and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thine hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee, whither thou wouldest go not. That's why he told him, feed his sheep, feed his sheep, feed his lamb. You get old, somebody else gonna have to take care of you. He said, this spake he signifying by what death he should glorify the Most High. And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, follow me. Then Peter turning about to see the disciple whom Mashiach loved, John followed, which also leaned on his breast at supper and said, Mashiach Yahushua, which is he that betrayeth thee? Peter seeing him said to Mashiach Yahushua, and what shall this man do? Mashiach said to him, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. Mashiach he was an austere man now. Because Peter asked him to say, Peter seeing him said to Mashiach, and what shall this man do? Mashiach said unto him, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to you? Follow thou me. He already told him, follow me. Peter always got something to say. You got people that's going to be just like Peter. Always, smart mouth got something to say, whatever. He said, hey, what's that to you? Ain't none of your business. In other words, he said, if I would that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? What is that to you? Follow thou me. Then when this saying abroad among the brethren, that disciples should not die. Yet Mashiach said not unto him, he shall not die, but if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Right? This is the disciple which testified of these things, talking about John, and wrote these things. And we know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things which Mashiach did. Look at this. The which, if they should be written, every one, for the things that he done. Remember, there's 365 days to a year. We only got like what? From like really when he was born, and then 12 years old, then 30 years old to 33 years old. You know what I mean? That's about it. He said, and there are also many other things which Mashiach did, that which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that Even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. And he put that God, that idol there. And y'all gonna say it. I am saying it. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna show you something right quick. In verse 18, John 21:18, it say Verily, right? Yeah, Verily. This is a Mashiach Shai because it's a rare edition, right? And I'm telling you that I go back to AMEN, right? So AMEN, AMENI. That's the AMEN, right? And right quick, Revelation 3:14. They put it in here. You can't deny this. They put it right in here for you to see it. And brothers read it just like it's not there. That's why I say you can say whatever. When the Most High put in there in Revelation 18:23, said they deceive all the nations through their sorceries. Come on, how do you read this and don't see what it says? This in red. All you have red edition Bibles, this is a Mashiach Shai speaking, just like he was speaking right there. When it said Verily, which is AMEN, look what it says here, calling them that. 3:14, and to the angel of the church of the Laodiceans write, these things said the AMEN, faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. Is AMEN, Mashiach Yahushua. When ZEUS have a last name of AMEN, Alexander the Greek made sure that that's the last AMEN that was put upon this earth. And who published in the Bible? The so-called Greeks, the Romans, so-called white men. They got it in there. A soldier must learn love for his nation. A soldier must learn love for his nation. A soldier must learn love for his nation. St. John 15:12-14. Like I said, I'm gonna continue on this because there's a lot I want to deal with as far as soldiership, because that's the first rank that brothers start to really come in to really be able to deal with, order. St. John 15:12-14. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. You see? He said, this is the commandment, that we love one another. You have Christian Sanity people, they'll say, all the law is love the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. All the laws pertaining to those two principles, because it's how we love the Most High with our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and how we love each other. That's why he's saying, as the Israelite, he's saying, hey, St. John 15:12, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. So greater love have no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends. And that's what he did. He said, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. That's how you be his friend, if you keep the commandments. He said in John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. A soldier must learn love for unity of the brotherhood. A soldier must learn love for unity of the brotherhood. 1 Peter 2:17. A soldier must learn unity of the brotherhood. 1 Peter 2:17. 1 Peter 2:17. Honor all men. Love the brotherhood. Fear the Most High. Honor the King. 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful, be courteous. It ain't just talking about those that's in your camp or in your congregation, in your church. It's talking about we as the children of Israel. Let's find out who Peter talking to. 1 Peter 1:1. Let's see if it says your camp over here. Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Elect, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, who's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who did he elect? Let's find out. Y'all want to say y'all the elect. though you can't prove it. Isaiah 45:4. Who the elect? Well, Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. So ain't no certain camp, ain't no certain congregation, ain't no certain church or whatever. It's Israel, the Israelites is the Most High's elect. That's what he's talking to. Elect, according to the foreknowledge of the Most High. So now when you see First Peter's 3:8, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love of brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. Or you're gonna receive a curse. Evil for evil. I'm gonna get him back. He did it. I'm gonna do this to me. To him. Railing for railing. Are you going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? That's why somebody has to take low. That's why I said to the Peter's where he say, hey, you suffering wrongfully. That's thankworthy with the Most High. If your conscience is toward the Most High, but if all y'all conscience not toward the Most High, you ain't praising the Most High. You don't think about him. Y'all think about Kwam Yasharala or whoever you are in these Christian sanity churches, man. But it's all about the Most High. Point blank. Or tell me that it's not. It's all about him first and foremost, man. That's why I say, finally, be ye all of one mind, not having compassion one of another. Love as brethren. Be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. You're going to inherit a blessing. You follow what he say, do? Ephesians 4:3. Ephesians 4:3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace amongst each other, y'all. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Look, there is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called, in one hope of your calling. You see? That's why it's very important. Like 1 Corinthians 1:10. 1 Corinthians 1:10. Because right now it's really, really kind of like prevalent where we all, brothers and all can relate to what I'm bringing out. This is what we all done. You that's how new camps or whatever y'all dealing with coming in, y'all didn't have this. Y'all wasn't there to get this. You see what I'm saying? But 1 Corinthians 1:10, it says, now I beseech you, brethren, by Bashem Mashiach Yahushua. You see the name of power of Mashiach Yahushua, that's in the name of the Lord and Savior, that you all speak the same thing. See? And that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. So we got to think the same way so that the judgment will be the same way, whether I bring it or somebody else bring it. If we all speaking the same thing and thinking the same way, then we'll be able to counsel and do the things that's necessary for our nation and bring forth the same mind and the same judgment. Very important. That's why he tells us, man, Romans 16:17. Tell us, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them, put a mark on them, which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. So you got a right to avoid people. You don't say hate them, but you still have a right to avoid them. You can't hate your brother. It's still our brothers. Even though y'all hear me saying pork chop eating preachers and so forth, they Israelites, man, they still my brothers. I still have love for them. They just got to come and learn like we all learn, straight up. What is Bible really talking about? And stop leading our people astray. Or, hey, I got lessons on that. I can bring it out any time to show you what the result is. If they don't come back and learn this truth, we are the teachers in these last days, bring forth this truth. I say, now I beseech you, brethren. We the Israelites, mark them which cause divisions and offenses, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. We don't have to be around these people that's teaching a different doctrine. You know, got our people in gross darkness, gross ignorance. The same doctrine they taught us in slavery, they're still teaching the same doctrine now. And think we're supposed to follow that? I don't think so. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. I mean, Hosea 5:15 says, Moses said, I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge our offense. The offense first is against the Most High. And seek his face. He turned his face away from us. And the heathen know he turned his face away from us because we went into sin. We have sinned. We have broken the commandments of the Most High. That's why he turned his face from us. That's why we got to do what he said, dude. He's going to turn his face back to us and bless us. Simple as that. In our affliction, he said, we're going to seek him early. But some of y'all thinking no affliction coming. It's coming. Jacob's trouble coming. Believe this. How come all the time you hear, all you hear now is time for the race wars? No matter what happened, time for the race wars. Y'all are y'all oblivious to that? Y'all don't know they're saying that? They saying that? Everybody against us. Nobody love us. That's why I say mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. But they that are such serve not our power, Mashiach Yahushua, but their own belly. And by good words and fair speeches, they speak very well, deceive the hearts of the simple. You hear that? They lie to the hearts, the minds of the simple-minded people. They don't understand this, y'all. Psalms 133. Psalms 133. So you got a right to avoid people. You have no right to hate your brother, but you can avoid them. Psalms 133, when they're not dealing with what it is we dealing with here. Psalm 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. That's why I say, a soldier must learn love for unity of the brotherhood. Behold, Psalms 133 and 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon his beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, ran up that oil foot of his head, went all the way down his garment. As the dew of Hermon, as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Just do what he say do. Follow his commandments. Simple as that. A soldier must learn sacrifice. You know, a soldier must learn sacrifice. And sacrifice is giving up something that you don't want to give up. Like we have to do on the Sabbath day. Sacrifice. That's why I say Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies, not mercy, but the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. So our bodies have to be a living sacrifice. Got to give it up, man. You got to make sure that you're doing something not only for yourself, but for someone else. You know, a living sacrifice. This ain't no religion where you just come in and you're gonna do whatever, and then you leave up out of here and say, oh, they went to heaven, don't even know nothing about the law, such commandments, the Most High, don't know the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, don't know what Mashiach Yahushua said. He only came for the 12 tribes of Israel. Don't know nothing about Paul's writing because they too hard to understand and know nothing that they ought to know. But yet still, they sacrifice it just for themselves. No. You know? You say in your affliction, you're going to seek me early. So you still got to sacrifice even though you're afflicted. You're hurting, you're in pain, you're suffering, you're going through that because in the end, we ain't going to have no more pain. We have no more suffering, ain't no more crying, none of that. If you make it to the kingdom, you got to endure it to the end. That's why it said, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies. That's getting something you don't deserve many times, of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. You could have had the right thoughts. We could have had the wrong thoughts. The Most High take us out. But many times, man, he gave us mercy. That's why I say mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Holy. We know holy is keeping of the commandments. The law is holy, the commandment holy, and just and good. Romans 7 and 12. acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service, he said. That's your reasonable service to the Most High. A soldier must learn what is expected of him from his officers. A soldier must learn what is expected of him from his officers. We're dealing with a soldier as a prisoner of the Father. A soldier must learn what is expected of him of his officers. Luke 12 and 48. Like I said, I'm just a short version. I'm gonna go into it more in depth, but Luke 12, 48. A soldier must learn what is expected of him from his officers. Luke 12, 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. That's those that are in Christian sanity, those that have not been called. But he that knew not, they ain't know, and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much, for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. You see? That's why it's very important to understand. That's why I say, get this is all about yourself out of that. You know? And a lot of you want to put down those that have not been called yet, you know? This is the Most High is a man of war. In war, you have strategies of how you're going to win the war. And it's a warfare, a high level warfare that we're dealing with and dealing with our people in the flesh. It might not be precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they come in. It might be the history. It might be something that you can compare by talking about it, since they're used to somebody talking to them, and that's it. And not these scriptures, knowing these scriptures. Because a lot of times you pull the scriptures, people leave. You watch, I can talk, and I'm talking, they be listening, talking. Those when I pull up the scriptures, boom, they out of there. And it might be, you know, the spirit of, you know, them high-level demons getting into them, making them leave, or could be they figure that they're not going to be accountable for what's going to happen to them by not knowing. But whether you know or you don't know, you still going to be accountable for the laws of the Most High, what he said. You're going to get it one way or another. But you see what it says? But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. Still going to be beaten with few stripes. It says, for unto whomsoever much is given, much has been given, of him shall be much required. See, much is given. If you have been listening to me, and what has been given to me, I know much is required. And much is required for you. That's on you. Because I know over 7,000 videos now. Much is required. To whom men have committed much, of him they will ask no more. It's going to be more that's going to be asked, right? Look at verse 47. Well, let's go up and let's read about this story. It's very true. Let's read verse 45. But if that servant say in his heart and his mind, my power delayeth his coming. Like some of you probably say, he ain't coming. Many men and women are not of this truth because Hamashiach didn't come in the year 2000. That crazy breakdown that they had of year 2000, right? I never went for that. I always went to Matthew 24, 36 and Acts 1 and 6 and 7. Come on, man. Only the Most High know. Look. And if that servant say in his heart, in his mind, in his thoughts, my power delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and be drunken, Mashiach Yahushua, power of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and an hour when he is not aware. That's why I say only the Most High know, and will cut him in asunder. You're going to cut him up. You're going to cut him up, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. He's going to cut you up and point you with the unfaithful that don't believe in the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that servant was knew his power's will, his teacher's will, and prepared not himself, didn't prepare himself, neither did according to his will. You ain't want to keep the commandments of the Most High, shall be beaten with many stripes. You that's been called, you that hear my voice, you that hear the learnings that's in these last days are coming across the airways and in front of your face in person, and that servant was knew his master, his power's will, or his teacher's will, and prepared not himself. That's why I say it's about preparing yourself. When we told you in Ecclesiastes 2:1, when you come to serve the Most High, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare your soul for the devil. When you come to serve the Most High, didn't he come to Mashiach Yahushua when he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights? He was weak. Would you say he gonna let you just slide? Are you steady trying to make it to the kingdom? And you make it to the kingdom, his kingdom gonna be smashed. He gonna be thrown in a lake of fire. Come on, what you think? Why he have the ability to be able to maintain? He gonna try and deal, like I said, in Revelation 12:17. He coming down on those that keep the commandments of the Most High and have a testimony of Mashiach Yahushua. That's us. That's why I say, and that servant, verse 47, Luke 12th chapter, which knew his leaders or his teacher's will, or Mashiach Yahushua will, and prepared not himself. You ain't prepare yourself for the devil, neither did according to his will, which is what? Keeping of the commandments. He said, you love me, keep my commandments, shall be beaten with many stripes. You hear that? Gonna be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, didn't know the commandments, didn't know the laws of the Most High, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. You know, because the Most High ain't called him. This is the highest calling you can be called, and I just showed you how the truth is more important than anything else. So they're gonna be beaten, they're still gonna be beat, but they're gonna be with few stripes. You see? We that know, say you're gonna be beat with many stripes. A soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. A soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. A soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. Galatians 5:13. Galatians 5:13. For brethren, who are the Israelites, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another, man. Don't use the liberty that you have and being over another man, occasion to the flesh, man. Try and do your brother wrong, but by love serve one another. By the commandments serve one another. The Most High told us the greatest commandment is love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself, as an Israelite, man. It says, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Over and over again, when you read this Bible, we always being told to love each other, man, because we don't love each other. We don't love each other. And they always put it in our face, how we kill each other and so forth, because that's part of the curses that befell us for not keeping the laws of the Most High. For all the laws fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. And that's what's happening to us. 1 Peter 5:5. We're looking at a soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. 1 Peter 5:5. When you have to have patience, you have to have love for your brother, you have to have love for your people. Straight up. 1 Peter 5:5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. You young men, that's another thing. I see a lot of young men, they don't respect the elder. When I came up, you couldn't disrespect no elderly person. Anybody can jack you up. Hear about it and jack you up. That's how it was. Even like I said in Romans 10 and 2, say we are the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. They might not knew where to go in the Bible to find that, but naturally we had that zeal of the Most High. What I say, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you, be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. You can't do it if you prideful. That's the problem. Y'all walk around with, that's why I said many perilous times, dangerous times gonna be on this earth because people are walking in pride. You say, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another and be clothed with humility. But the Most High resists the proud, you see. The Most High resists the proud and give it grace, which is give you something you don't deserve to get, to the humble. Well, say, humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. You see? This is how you got to do it. These are the rules and regulations. That's why it says a soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. You know, that's why I say, humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High. Or the hand of the Most High, like it said in Hebrews 10:31, it's a fearful thing to fall in the hand of the living power, the Most High. He gonna get you. He gonna tear your butt up. Believe this, understand this. Oh, come on, y'all better recognize, man. So 1 Peter 5 and 1, to say the elders which are among you I exhort, whom I also am an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of a Mashiach Yahushua, and also the partaker of the glory that shall be revealed when he come. Say, feed the flock, like he told Peter. What did he tell Peter? Feed the flock. Here he is now saying it himself. Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly. Want to do this, not by filthy lucres, trying to make money off of them, like a lot of y'all do, but of a ready mind. You see? Neither as being powers over Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock. Got to be examples to the flock. Not being all, you know, because a lot of you want to be somebody in this damn nation that we in, wherever nation it is, wherever we are scattered at. And that ain't what a Mashiach Shah is rolling with. When you be like that, you end up being prideful. Anyone that's humble will see that you are prideful. And that's not right. So I'm trying to keep you from dealing with the wrath of the Most High, man. That's real. That's real as real can be. That's why I say a soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. St. John 13 and 12. St. John 13 and 12. St. John 13 and 12. So after he had washed their feet, Mashiach washed their feet, and had taken his garments and was set down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? He said, know you what I have done to you? Ye call me teacher and power. And you say, well, so I am. But he's not M-A-S-T-E-R. He's not L-O-R-D. Both of those words go back to B-A-A-L, and they put it in there. I must keep putting it in your face. Maybe one day it'll register, and y'all stop saying it. See? B-A-A-L in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. B-A-A-L, this their power. L-O-R-D. P-O-S-S-E-S-S-O-R. H-U-S-B-A-N-D. And M-A-S-T-E-R. There it is, Phoenician. The dang farm god of the Phoenician and Canaanites. That's who y'all call them on. They're gods. Most I said, hey, you circumspect? Let not the name of other gods come out of thy mouth. Can you see that? Can y'all see that definition? Can you see that? Can it be seen? I'm trying to determine where to put it at so it can be seen. A lot of times I put it up and it's always, when I do shorts, it's never there. It's on the other side. So I'm gonna put it on this side, and put it on this side. Y'all not responding. Y'all went to sleep on. I'm just about finished those online. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers, right? Hebrews 6 and 11. Hebrews 6 and 11. You said go closer? Okay, let me see. Hebrews 6 and 11. What about right there? Can you see it right there? The definition right there? Great, great. Okay, to water for that. I don't keep jumping off the table. Can't help that. Okay, like I say, for you that's just coming in late, we're dealing with soldier. A soldier is a prisoner of the Father. This is what we learned from One West. At least me as a general, this is what the soldiers had to learn. Hebrews 6, 11 and 12. Hebrews 6, 11 and 12. Hebrews 6, 11 and 12. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance, what's that? Hold on. Hebrews 6 and 11. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope until the end, man. If you just faith and doing what you're supposed to be doing according to the Most High's rules and regulations, laws, judgments, commandments, and your faith until the end, it says that ye be not slothful, don't be lazy, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. You know, the promises we read is to the children of Israel in Romans 9, 4 and 5. It says that ye be not slothful, you can't be lazy dealing with this, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. But when the Most High made promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swear by himself, saying, surely blessing, I will bless thee, and multiplying, I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. And the promise was given to Abraham. The promise was given to Isaac. The promise was given to Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. It was Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar, who the Most High say is the power of those 12 tribes of Israel. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. Romans 15:1. Romans 15:1. Like I said, I have more that I'm gonna go in depth in. It's just a short version. Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. You hear that? So when you have a brother that's weak, then we gotta bear the infirmities of the weak. We that are strong, with patience and compassion and love, and not, you know, dealing with, because you can't really deal with correcting someone when they know that you don't care about them. How that's gonna work? You are cold blooded against their infirmities, whatever they're dealing with. They got to know that's in love. Therefore, you can correct them, and they're gonna really appreciate it because you know you care. They know you care about them. They're not doing it, maliciously. You know, or you shouldn't be even being this, man. Or you gonna be that fraud that the Most High hate. You got those. So I don't love no fraud person, man. But he'll have a fraud person check you if you need to be checked. But that don't mean that he love them. He don't love them. He don't love no fraud person. But he'll use them. Like I said, the Most High ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. Believe this. Trust and believe that. He don't like them though. Look, uh, Proverbs 8:13. Fear the Most High. When we read in Peter's how the Most High, you got to accept the gentle and ones that's pretty cool, along with the forward, right? But you got to know this. For all you think you're gonna be so hardcore and hateful against your brother, listen what it says. How does I feel about you? It says, hey, Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Most High is to hate evil, pride, and arrogance, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. You hear that? That forward mouth, the Most High hate. So y'all want to be all cold-blooded, hardcore, this, that, and the third. Most High say he hates you. Look up that word forward. Somebody got a dictionary, look up the word forward. Poke that out there. So you know what he's talking about. So I don't have my dictionary at hand. I don't know if it's in the Zondervan one. I have that in the New English Bible dictionary. Very important, man. As I said, he hates you if you forward. The forward mouth do I hate. No, it's not in here. They made sure they ain't put themselves at. Anybody, if y'all have a dictionary, you can look up the word forward. Paste it in the comments. And you say, hey, the forward mouth do I hate. Well, here it is. I got one. Since y'all lazy, don't want to be slothful, don't want to help me. Forwardness. It says King James versus term referring to perverseness, deceit, or falsehood. Perversity, perverseness, or perverted. It says forward and forwardly likewise have the meaning of perverted, crooked, or deceitful. It gives scripture to back it up. Turning away from that which is right. See? Because you want us over and over again, he tells us to love each other. But he'd use that same person that he hates. Now he used Esau for his sword, right? To do whatever he wanted him to do. You gotta understand. That's why the Most High ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. All right. Uh, the next one. I'm just about finished. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. 1 Corinthians 12 and 25. That there should be no schism in the body. No schism in the body, right? Division in the body. But that the members should have the same care one for another. You know, that there should be no schism in the body. No schism in the body. You see? Division in the body. But that the members should have the same care one for another. We're supposed to have the same care one for another. Caring for your brother. No schism in the body, man. No division in the body. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. You know? If one brother suffer, we all suffer with them. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. You see? That's what he's telling us. Forward is an adjective meaning stubbornly willful, disobedient, or contrary. It describes someone. Put it on stage. It says forward is an adjective meaning stubbornly willful, disobedient, or contrary. It describes someone who is uncooperative, honorary, and not easily managed. The word is the opposite of toward. See? The water judge dread. Said being in rebellion. But he'll use that person to check us, check you at any time. But the Most High hate him. Remember, the Most High say he hate the forward mouth. So you can be that way if you want to. The Most High hate you. Straight up. Titus 1 and 13. Titus 1 and 13. Titus 1 and 13. This witness is true. Wherefore, rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. You know, sometimes you have to rebuke people sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. It's real, man. That's why I say a soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. And sometimes you got to rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. Romans 14 and 12. Responsible for what you do. Romans 14 and 12. That's why I say, when you look at, I look at people, they like, they look at this like I think they look at the truth as being like some kind of religion or something, man. We had to go through a lot to still endure. Anyone that still endured, I commend them, because we had to go through a lot and still endure with those that were forward and those that were, pretty much gentle. But the forward made everybody else want to be forward, Calm down, come on. Y'all ain't even understand. You ain't got no clue. Y'all sitting out here hanging on a computer, man. We had to sit in the chairs for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Sometimes we came in the morning, we was in the chair all day long. Then I'd get up and go out to work out and camp and all that stuff, man. Hot sun, whatever, man. Come back in, be dark, come back in and still learning. Man. Romans 14 and 12. So that every one of us shall give account of himself to the Most High. Every one of us gonna give account to himself to a Mashiach Yahushua as he come to judge and make war, man. And he sit on the throne, his throne, and judge us. Like it says, you can look at it. We're gonna give an account what we done to these mortal bodies. Like he said in 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. And we know what's good. Romans 7 and 12. That keep coming out all night long, right? The law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. Say, listen, but we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body, according that he have done in these mortal bodies we in right now, whether it be good or bad, whether you kept the commandments of the Most High or you didn't. Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua, outside of love, happiness, and joy to be, knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua, he called a destroyer. How you think he coming to judge and make war if he ain't gonna destroy something? Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua, we persuade men. But we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience, helping your mind, the way you think. For real, for real. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. We just read about that judgment seat of Mashiach Yahushua. Everybody gonna be judged from what you've done in these mortal bodies. Ecclesiastes 12, 14 for the Most High. So you can use the Mashiach Yahushua shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. You see? Whether it be good, whether you kept the commandments of the Most High, kept the laws of the Most High, or whether it be evil. Because you don't, you evil. Point blank. Simple as that. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. Second Peter 1 and 10. 2 Peter 1 and 10. 2 Peter 1 and 10. We're looking at a soldier as a prisoner of the Father. This is what we all learned from One West. Soldiership. 2 Peter 1 and 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Hear that? You do these things that you hear, ye shall never fall. Philippians 2 and 12. Philippians 2 and 12. Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, not when the book is open, but now much more in my absence when the book is closed. When you're not dealing with being holier than thou and the scriptures are open. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, he said. Once again, wherefore my beloved. Who to be loved, y'all? Is everybody to be loved? No. Who to be loved? Let's define the beloved in the scriptures. Where we going to go to define the beloved? Where do you go to define the beloved? You said, hey, wherefore beloved, my beloved. What do you find beloved definition at in the scriptures? Who is this beloved? My beloved. Who is that? Okay, it's taking too long. Baruch 3:36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and have given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved. You see, that defines who the beloved is. My beloved are the Israelites. So when you see beloved and you find that definition there, Israel, my beloved, is talking to the Israelites. Point blank. That's why Philippians 2:12, wherefore my beloved, wherefore my 12 tribes of Israelites, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, not whenever we teach in this word, the Bible is open, but now much more in my absence. You got to learn to apply it, learn it, live it, and apply it in your life. A lot of people's problem is applying this in their life once the book is closed, and how you're supposed to conduct yourself, you know, in a humble way, and not be prideful or think you are that. I think you something special. Most have made something special because he made you. He ain't made none of us special, man. Most I told Moses, he'll kill all of us and bring a nation more mighty than us through Moses. And the sad thing about it is when he told John the Baptist, you raise up some stones to be his people. That's real bad. That's real sad right there. You raise up some stones to be his people? Man, Most High ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts. Ain't nobody can say that Most High, he have to do that. No, 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 no. You don't have to, he can do what he want to do. Depending on how we do. You know what I mean? You don't have to look, his ways and thoughts, not our ways and thoughts, you know. Um, you put Isaiah 44:2, that's not beloved. That don't define the beloved. That's why I say I give scriptures that's bam, it's on point. You can't gainsay on that. I just say he formed us from the womb. You know? That don't say beloved. Like Baruch 3:36 says, Israel, my beloved. That's how you deal with precepts that be right on point. You can't gainsay on that. That doesn't say Israel, my beloved, in Isaiah 44:2. That's why it's very important. That's why I have the lesson. That's why I have a classroom in session. Come to class, That's why I'm giving you precepts that's right on point. Bam. Can't gainsay them. There's no explanation needed, It's just self-explanatory. So he said, Philippians 2:12, wherefore, my beloved, who are the Israelites, we define that in Baruch 3:36, Israel, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. He said, hey, as I leave, obey more when I'm gone. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, he's saying. So work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Now, a soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader. A soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader. A soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader. Wisdom of Solomon 8:14. Wisdom of Solomon 8:14. Wisdom of Solomon 8:14. I shall set the people in order, and the nation shall be subject unto me. You what he said? I shall set the people in order, and the nation shall be subject unto me. Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do but hear of me. I shall be found good among the multitude and valiant in war. That's why I say, man. It says, soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader, man. A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. You hear that? A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. Once again, soldier must learn to be neat, Clean, and his appearance must be kept up. You gotta be looking sharp. Ecclesiasticus 19, 29 and 30. Ecclesiasticus 19, 29 and 30. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meeteth him. See, a man might be look, a man's attire, and that says laughter and gait show what he is. You see? A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. First Thessalonians 4 and 4. 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 That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, and cleanness, sanctification being cleanness and honor, right? So now, look at Isaiah 52 and 1. A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. And that's at all times. Isaiah 52 and 1. Isaiah 52 and 1. Awake, awake. Put on thy strength, O Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel. Put on thy beautiful garments. Hear that? Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. That's why he said, hey, you got to clean ourselves up, man. A soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. You got to look presentable, man, all the time, man. Shake thyself from the dust, that low state you in. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. That's why I say, put on thy strength. For you soldiers, wake up, wake up, wake up. You know, come out of this deep sleep that you in. He said to put everybody in deep sleep, you know, deep and gross darkness, gross ignorance. Awake, awake, he got to tell you all the time. Put on thy strength, O Zion, O 12 tribes of Israel. Isaiah 51:16 says, Zion, my people. Talking to us, the Israelites. Put on thy beautiful garments, he said. O Jerusalem, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come unto thee the uncircumcised and the unclean, man. Come on, Most High want us to be sharp, man. He don't want us to be looking shabby. Last one, a soldier must learn, not the last one, but as far as the soldiership, it says a soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following in the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. A soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following in the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 15. It's a special calling, man. Soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. This the people saw and understood it not. Neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints. You know that? His grace and mercy is with his saints. And he have respect unto his chosen. You see? His grace and mercy is with his saints. That's why I say, man, a soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following in the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. Who are the saints? His grace and mercy is with his saints. Psalms 148:14. Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn, which is the power of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, who are we are people near unto him. Praise ye the Most High, praise the Most High, praise the Most High, praise the Most High. But you see who the children of Israel are? The saints. Grace and mercy to his saints, and he have respect to his chosen. Exodus 2:25. Exodus 2:25. Who most I would say he have respect to? For Exodus 2:25. The Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. Point blank. So there ain't no one else. 1 Corinthians 1, the first chapter, verse 26. 1 Corinthians 1 and 26. 1 Corinthians 1, 26. When you see your calling, brethren, how there are not many wise men, you're not calling many wise men of this world. After the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble, those that's caught up in politics and so forth, are called. You see this? But the Most High has chosen the foolish things of the world to confuse the wise. And the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. All praise to the Most High. And base things, things that are, they look at as being low. Base things of the world and things which are despised. Y'all know we despise. Nobody care about us. Not the Israelite man. And base things of the world and things which are despised hath the Most High chosen. You know, he said he chose Israel. Yeah. And things which are not, to bring nothing things that are. You know, we're not, included in nothing. To bring to nothing the things that are. That no flesh should glory in his presence. But of him are ye, Bashom Mashiach Yahushua, who of the Most High is made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, all to the Israelites, point blank, without a shadow of doubt, period. That according as it is written, he hath glorified. He that glorified, let him glorify in the Most High. Bashom Mashiach Yahushua, all praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. And all praise to the Most High, and all praise to the Most High. You want to glorify in the Most High, period. Bashom Mashiach Yahushua. James 2 and 5. James 2 and 5. Better understand the Most High said his name is jealous. He said, I'm going to melt you. Better understand, y'all. Shoot, they ain't talking about that. I don't know why, but that's why people don't fear the Most High. Y'all don't talk about the Most High only. What he said. James 2 and 5, hearken, listen. My beloved brethren, you know the beloved brethren, beloved, all the Israelites say, Israel, my beloved. Luke 3 and 36. Hearken, my beloved brethren, Israelite brothers, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, believing in the Most High, and heirs of the kingdom, meaning the kingdom was promised to the Israelites, which he hath promised to them that love him. And he said in 1 John 5 and 3, if you love, this is the love of the Most High, we keep his commandments. Commandments are not grievous. Point blank. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 20:16. Matthew 20:16. Matthew 20 and 16. Matthew 20:16. So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many will be called, but few chosen. You hear that? The last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. You hear that? This ain't for everyone. You look at it, the last shall be first. Those that's in this, enduring to the last, gonna be first. And the first last. You know? Those that have been in, taught everybody, and they gone now. Gonna be last. I look at the scripture to hit home, you know, why I try and stay diligent and continue to endure. But many be called, but few chosen. You know, many are called. He called a lot of people, but few are the chosen. 2 Ezra 8 and 1. Second Ezra 8 and 1. Second Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me and saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. You know? The Most High made this world for many, but the world that's going to come for few. That's why he said, Jeremiah 7:14. I don't think people really take this serious, man. I think no, that's not. I don't think it's serious enough, man. It's real serious, man. At least what I see. Jeremiah 3 and 14. Turn, O backsliding children, said the Most High, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city. What did he say? Second Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many. Many are called, but few are chosen, right? But the world to come for few. Turn, O backsliding children, Jeremiah 3:14, said the Most High, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. That's serious, man. That's deep. Second Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Verse 3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. There be many created, but few shall be saved. Many are called, but few are chosen. He said, many be created, but few shall be saved. Many are called, but few are chosen. And those chosen going to fulfill, through the power of the Most High, our last scripture of Luke 1:68. Few that be saved, right? So we got to be saved. Blessed is he, blessed be the Most High power of Israel in the New Testament. He's not the power of anyone else but the Israelite. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. See, not the power of Ishmael, Edom, Ammon, Moab, Ham, Elam, none of them. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. We just defined his people in Psalms 148:14. His people, even of the children of Israel, who are we, a people near to the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up in horn, which is the power of salvation, power, rulership, and authority for us in the house of his servant David. For Mashiach came out of the same tribe as King David, Judah. That's why I said in Hebrews 7:14, for this evidence, it's a fact that our power, Mashiach Yahushai, sprang out of Judah, our forefather Jacob's fourth-born son, Judah. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we, who are the Israelites, should be saved from our enemies. That's being saved, y'all. That we, as the Israelites, should be saved from our enemies. Many are called, but few are chosen. What did he say? Second Ezra 8 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made the world for many, but the world to come for few. Verse 3, there be many created, but few shall be saved. You see that? Luke 1:69, and have raised up in horn the power of salvation. That's powers and authority for us, the children of Israel, in the house of his servant David, the Mashiach Yahushua, who came out of the same tribe as King David, Judah, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets. All the prophets had the spirit of a Mashiach, which have been since the world began, that we, the Israelites, should be saved from our enemies. and from the hand of all that hate us. Remember what he said, 2 Ezra 8:3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. That we should be saved from our enemies. Few that's going to be saved from their enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And few going to be saved from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to remember his holy covenant that was given to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him for without fear, in holiness and righteousness, according to the laws and the commandments of the Most High, which is holiness and righteousness. We know, Romans 7:12, righteousness defined in Deuteronomy 6:25 and Psalms 119, 172, before him all the days of our life. Right? And thou shalt be called the prophet of the highest, Mashiach Yahushua, for thou shalt go before the face of the Most High to prepare the ways, to give knowledge of salvation unto his people by the remission of their sins. We know Romans 5:31 says, repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. And for all you that have something to say about this, that, and the third, whatever, Acts 5:29. Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. That's been our problem now. We obey the commandment of men, traditions of men, and not the Most High word as it is written. That's many are called, but few are chosen. And with that, like I said, we're dealing with a soldier is a prisoner of the Father. With that, give a like to the video. If you're not a leader, share it with your leader. Share it with someone that can really, look at going through this and really dealing with memorizing these steps. Let me go through it before I just cut off. Soldier is a prisoner of the Father. A soldier must first realize that he is a soldier for the Most High. A soldier must realize that he is in the army of the Most High. A soldier must realize that he is obligated to his maker and to his nation. A soldier must realize what type of armor he is in, spiritual. A soldier must learn discipline. A soldier must learn order. A soldier must learn punctuality. A soldier must learn duties. A soldier must learn responsibilities. A soldier must learn love for the Father. A soldier must learn love for Hamashiach Yahushua. A soldier must learn love for his nation. A soldier must learn love for unity of the brotherhood. A soldier must learn sacrifice. A soldier must learn what is expected of him from his officers. A soldier must learn that his own fellow soldiers are learning to be soldiers also. A soldier must learn that he is a soldier among his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his brothers. A soldier must learn that he is responsible for his actions. A soldier must learn that he is going to be a leader. A soldier must learn that a soldier must learn to be neat, clean, and his appearance must be kept up. A soldier must learn that he is coming up in the ranks of the saints and following in the steps of great men before him. A soldier must learn that he has been chosen out of the world for this special calling. Many are called, but few are chosen. And with that, I say, Kwam Most High, Kwam Mashiach Yahushua, and Kwam Yasharallah. And join me tomorrow. Some of you will be today at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, 2:30 Mountain time, 3:30 Central Time, and 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I say Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and I'm out. Shalom. Tawada for joining me.